Die Europäische Zentralbank legte den Referat.
This is the Opie and Anthony channel.
And now, a show the likes of which America's never seen. So appalling, so offensive, yet so entertaining.
It's not your normal show.
Beamed from satellites in space down to you every single day.
What planet are we living on?
It's the Opie and Anthony show with Opie.
We're experts and we already know this is going to be great radio, so shut the fuck up.
And Anthony.
I live in a big house, I make a lot of money, and I fuck attractive girls.
And little Jimmy.
I don't even like in our opening. It sounds like a little...
You dang open hand and don't listen to dang open hand.
Stop with that shit.
And now, here they are. Why am I introducing these buffoons? I'm William Shatner, goddammit.
But enough of this palaver. Let's get the show on the road.
Yes. Good morning, everybody.
Look at that. We're back on the air again. Wow. It's been,
Thank you, Jesus.
20 hours. Thank you, Jesus, Lord. Thank you, Lord.
Thank you, King of Kings.
King of Kings.
Jesus.
Under the authority of God.
That's right.
Jesus, thank you, Jesus.
And I want to pat ourselves on the back because silly Nick Walenda,
Yeah.
he did the Grand Canyon thing, saying Jesus every other step.
Uh-huh.
Wants to do that tightrope thing here in New York City between the Chrysler Building and the Empire State Building, which would be about 4,000 feet.
Pretty good.
And the city has already said, go find another city. We don't need you. We don't want you.
No.
We said that yesterday. They're just not going to allow that.
No.
I think it would be cool if they did, but...
That'd be wild.
You know, I want zip lines, you know, from fucking skyscraper to skyscraper. I think that would be cool.
Pretty
as hell.
cool. Get you through that crosstown traffic.
Sure.
They're too worried about him falling on somebody.
Yeah.
That's what they said. They said if he falls in the Grand Canyon, he falls. But if it's New York, he's going to land
Just
on
close
someone.
some fucking streets for, what would it take, a couple hours? Tell them to do it in the middle of the night while the city sleeps.
Yeah, it's like, well, don't worry about one guy falling off a tightrope. How about your cranes that are fucking toppling over all the time?
Wow.
Don't worry about one guy.
Right. I just saw a picture of the Grand Canyon walk.
Yeah.
That was not straight across. You had to go downhill and back uphill.
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That is fucked up.
Why is there a dip? Is that to prevent it from blowing?
There's no possible way to stretch it out.
Yeah, that is
straight.
That is a heavy cable, man.
Has to have, all cables got some sag to them.
And what is it, about 1,500 feet he did, right? With that heavy cable?
Yeah.
That is a dip, though. I didn't realize he dipped that much.
That's from one end to the other, looking right down the cable, so it's really going to look pretty extreme.
Yeah, but he's dropped down pretty good from where he started.
Yeah. Pretty good.
So he doesn't get to do the tightrope thing here in New York.
Nah.
He shouldn't have asked. He should have fucking, did the Philippe Petit thing. Why not? We're ready for a Philippe Petit thing.
I think those days are gone.
Yeah.
Going up and fucking stringing wires from building to building.
Yeah.
Fucking NYPD sniper team will be on you. Jesus.
Fuck that. And then I guess we got to congratulate the Chicago Blackhawks. Hockey is officially over. They won the Stanley Cup last night, beating the Bruins in just a heartbreak of a game for Bruins fans.
It was pretty much done. The Bruins were pretty much thinking,
Game 7.
That's it.
They had, less than 2 minutes to go to force a Game 7, and then the Blackhawks turned around and scored twice in, I think, 17 seconds.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And I apologize once again to everybody. I picked the Bruins, and I did pick the Spurs.
Oh, boy.
For the people that keep track of the sports curse.
What happened?
I did it again. I fucking can't pick a fucking winner.
No.
And we're not even talking points or odds or nothing. Just fucking trying to pick a team. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Bruins Spurs? Those are good picks.
I guess.
They were good picks. Hoisting the cup up.
Shazga!
Yeah.
Fucking right, boys!
Oh, nice.
Oh, the language.
Gotta go with the language.
Fucking right, boys. Fucking right.
Did this go out over NBC?
Yeah.
Your mother's cunt.
He just starts blurting shit out.
Black dick. Hey. Fucking A, baby.
We want to apologize.
Andrew
for that
Shaw,
last
right?
segment.
Yeah.
You may have heard very exuberant.
God.
Oh, do we apologize, please? Oh, God, Jesus.
Oh, jeez. Oh, boy. Okay. Anyway, in other news, here's 20 dead bodies from around the world.
Yeah. In graphic HD detail of brains and skull and fucking mush face.
But we're really sorry for the fucking.
But you heard some bad language.
Oh, my God, we're all going to be fired.
It was terrible.
Oh, God. Quickly get to the mangled bodies from around the world.
Fucking.
We're just a stupid society, aren't we?
We really are.
Can't handle the fucks and the fuck yous, but we can handle the dead bodies.
No.
That is a strange way to look at things. So there you go, Ant. No more hockey.
Yeah.
No more hockey.
Finally, that's it. What's left now? Basketball's done.
Yeah.
Hockey done.
And then baseball's just sitting there.
Just fucking
sitting there.
Stagnates for the summer until,
The playoffs. And then
weed out until the playoffs.
Yeah, fucking.
Yeah.
I just realized, I'll say it again, I am not a baseball fan.
No.
I was in denial for a long time. It's just, who gives a fuck?
It's just the river in Sweden.
Who gives a fuck? 162 fucking games. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
It's too many fucking games.
A lot of games.
I want to go to a Yankee game though this year.
I'll go.
To the
It's
stadium.
great.
I want to see the stadium.
I went
Yeah.
and I loved it, and I don't even know who won. It was a social event. Drink a couple beers, have some food,
Yeah, I want to do
a
that.
few lofts, and then
Some lofts.
and then beat the traffic out in the 8th inning. Old days, you do that. Everyone's yelling and screaming at you. Oh, fair weather fan. But now you see everyone just trying to beat the traffic.
I'm a fair weather fan. I love when the weather's nice. Fair. Go out there and sit. Watch the game.
Fucking home run, Comia.
Nice.
Knock, knock. Who's there?
I didn't hear that joke, but I heard he did a joke this morning.
Oh, it was wonderful.
I want to hear audio. I've only heard about it.
It's terrible.
Well, both guys had a bad start in the Zimmerman trial.
Terrible.
They both had a bad start.
Don West. He'd have been better with that Don West. Yeah.
Which one you want to go with the knock knock,
Well,
or you want to go with the F?
that's the big story that all the news channels are playing is the knock knock joke.
Right.
That's the big one. Defense attorney Don West for George Zimmerman gets up, and I guess he's trying to, trying to get a little rapport going with the brand new jury that was just seated for the first day, opening statements of the trial yesterday. So he decides to go for a joke. Little joke.
Just to lighten the
During a second-degree murder trial.
just lighten the mood a little bit.
Yeah, and if you've noticed during these trials, if you really do keep tabs and watch the trial as it goes, like Casey Anthony was another big trial that was televised down there in Florida, you'll notice that a while into the trial, maybe a week or two in, there's that nervous tension that sometimes can be broken with a joke, or there's an awkward moment that can only be broken with a joke, and it's been known to happen.
Sure.
But to just pull out this ham-handed attempt at a horrible joke the first day, it was a dumb thing for him to do.
Did it get a big laugh?
It got less than zero.
Oh, boy, it was not good.
It was
Not good.
such a bomb.
Not good.
And that's the last thing Zimmerman needed was a fucking bad joke by his attorney.
Exactly.
Zimmerman got huge, man.
Zimmerman is he's a chubby boy.
Not really following this shit that closely. He's gained what, over 100 pounds?
Well, the white
He's a
Hispanics always
chubby boy. Yes, white Hispanic.
Wow.
What that means, but yeah. So he got up there.
Wow, I can't believe that's the same guy.
I know.
We're seeing him on the TV right now.
I wonder if that's on purpose, if he's panicking, or if he wants to have a certain to look less menacing? Or I mean, I not that you plan that out, but is he just eating, or is he like?
Oh, he's stress eating.
I think he's just eating like a motherfucker.
Yeah, that's stress eating. That's a lot of weight. Yeah. Wow, I can't believe it's the same guy. Yeah, anyway,
he's big. The thing is, though, that's the clip that all the news agencies are playing. You know, all the fucking.
No
channels.
Surprise.
And it's that, but they're not concentrating on anything. With the trial, they're just playing this fucking clip and going, that was bad. The truth of the matter is, once the 911 guy got up, or actually the non-emergency operator, who it wasn't even a 911 call, got up there and the defense started questioning him. Mm-hmm. It was all about the defense. Like the prosecution, and the operator was a prosecution witness. And the fact of the matter is, the defense got so much more out of this guy that helped George Zimmerman than the prosecution ever could.
Right.
They dispelled the whole thing of this big stalking and chase that was supposedly happened. None of that happened. And there's a viable reason now for George Zimmerman to have followed him for a time, which he was doing, because the operator was actually saying, all right, well, tell me what else he does. And then he goes, okay, keep an eye on him. So now, in two instances, this operator is suggesting that George Zimmerman keeps an eye on this guy. And the defense was questioning the operator, saying, couldn't you assume that by what you said, that he would want to keep him in his vision, in his sight? The guy's like, yeah, I could assume that. And he goes, and there it is again. And they're playing the tape. And then he goes, all right, and there it is again. You just asked him again. If you could tell him what to do, keep an eye out. And then you hear him get out of the vehicle at one point, and you can hear him moving, and the wind from the cell phone, and he's moving. He goes, are you following him? He goes, yes. He goes, okay, we don't need you to do that. And then you hear that sound stop. He goes, now, don't you hear that sound anymore? He's like, no. He goes, what do you hear George Zimmerman say after you say, we don't need you to do that? He says, I believe George Zimmerman said, okay. Like all of this stuff that's been in the news about him chasing him down and the police ordered him to cease and desist and not to talk. All that falls right apart.
You didn't hear any of that? I never heard that played before where the guy says keep an eye on him. They don't play that one as much on the...
In two instances during that call, he's like, all right, tell me what he does. Well, keep an eye on him. Where is he going? What is it? Like all this can be... it's not an absolute, but you can absolutely assume that the guy was fine with George Zimmerman keeping an eye on him. Right. Because they want to know. And he's like, now, why would you want to know the location of this guy? He goes, well, for the police, to give the police as much information. Why would you need to know that he's black? He was black. The information for the police, the description. Why would you need to know what he was wearing? The police are being sent there. We need to give the police that information. So all of this that was chewed apart by people that are working on nothing but emotion can now see it in testimony that this is not the case. He wasn't chasing down with his gun out. He wasn't stalking somebody. He was following someone that he had called 911 on to give information to the operator as to where this guy is for when the police show up. That's it. And his demeanor on the call, they kept asking the guy who was 6 years on the job as an operator, did George Zimmerman sound angry at this point? Did he sound like he was upset? Did he sound... No. His demeanor was very calm through the whole thing. There wasn't any indication that he had any ulterior motive to go out and kill someone that night. And this is one witness in. Now, what you'll hear on the news is, knock, knock, who's there? Wow. Which is a horrid mistake for that. But they're not playing the other part. And this, by the way, will only, if George Zimmerman is acquitted, will only rile people up because the news will have fed everyone all this stuff that still makes George Zimmerman look guilty. And if he's acquitted on the facts that only the jury and people that are watching the trial see, the regular person that has watched the news will be like, how did this guy get off with knock, knock guy and chasing him down and stalking? So, because the news isn't reporting this. They're going to be culpable in any fucking riots because they're not reporting this trial as it's happening and being honest about it. They're giving this presentation that George Zimmerman is guilty, and if he's acquitted, the layman who gets his info from the news is going to be like, how'd that happen? Must be injustice.
But the knock-knock joke is fantastic.
But the knock-knock joke is
fantastic.
A horrible bomb.
It is amazing how
sometimes you have to laugh to keep from crying.
Oh
no. So let me...
Didn't you start off your set like this back in 2008? I think that's how you started off. Sometimes...
I'd like to tell you a little joke. I know how that may sound
here it comes, Alice.
In this context,
Night on a dog, Alice! Night on a dog!
But I think you're the perfect audience for it. As long as you if you don't like it or you don't think it's funny or inappropriate, that you don't hold it against Mr. Zimmerman. You can hold it against me if you want.
Can you believe this?
What are you doing?
Can you believe this?
Assurance, you won't. Here's how it goes.
Here it comes.
Knock, knock. Who's there? George Zimmerman. George Zimmerman, who? All right, good. You're on the jury. Nothing? That's funny. After what you folks have been through the last 2 or 3 weeks?
That's funny. I'm funny.
This is going great.
Be more funny.
Oh, God.
Okay.
OMG.
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
Isn't
this great?
That was
Okay, fucking, what's next?
an incredible bomb.
That's why everything you just said doesn't matter. because
Exactly.
they have to go with that.
That's what they're playing on every
You're giving
fucking
the news way
day.
too much credit.
Right.
Dude, he started off. Folks,
Here it
comes the joke.
Here it comes.
You might laugh. You don't want to cry. It's literally the worst setup. It's a terrible situation to do it in.
Uh-huh.
But to actually say it might make you laugh, it might. I've never heard anybody set themselves up to bomb so terribly.
The setup was longer than the actual joke.
Yes.
Way longer.
Oh, God.
That was horrible. Uncomfortable.
Yeah.
If he had just done it, if he had
yeah.
said, look, I know how this has been going. It's been crazy with the media. You know, knock, knock, who's there? George Zimmerman, who? You're on the jury.
You're on the jury. I mean, that's the job you guys have had. As an aside, not this big fucking grand setup.
Sometimes you got to laugh to keep from crying.
Sometimes you must laugh. Laugh, clown, laugh. You put Velcro on the ceiling, ladies and gentlemen.
That's a terrible.
3 if you slice them thin enough. But I digress.
Yeah. Guilty. Will the defendant please rise?
The warden. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. But
wet his lips and stick him to the window. Ladies and germs, I'm here all week.
Ladies and germs.
Why would he try to swim with all those chains? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you find my defendant.
Yes. Tires don't sing when you put chains on them. But seriously, folks.
You know. Oh, my God. Yeah, very bad.
Bad start.
And, the defense team really has to step up. The only saving grace is the fact that the prosecution has a horrendous job in trying to prove this case. There's nothing as far as true evidence that this is any more than a self-defense case. It's not second-degree murder. I mean, it's not. And it's a viable self-defense case. He's injured. There's proof that he was beaten, most likely by Trayvon. He answered with one shot at point-blank range at the last possible moment.
Where'd the shot hit him?
Right in the chest at the last possible moment. And but, the defense has to steer clear of these traps that the prosecution will set to pull them into this world of static, smoke and mirrors, that whole peripheral shit that the prosecution's going to pour into this case because they really don't have anything for the actual case, which is what the defense should stick to. So yesterday, the trial ended. Yesterday, they ended with the prosecution playing a couple of 911 tapes from prior calls that Zimmerman had made. And then after the first call, the defense gets up and goes, I want all that stricken from the record, and I don't want this being able to be played. And then the judge is like, you were asked if you have any objection to letting these into evidence, these 2 tapes. Yeah, I meant the mechanics of it, not the content and that. I don't want it in.
Who wanted it stricken?
The defense didn't want any on relevancy. He's like, look, the calls that George Zimmerman made prior to this have nothing to do with this case. So as far as relevancy goes, I don't want these in. But he should have objected to that when they tried to put it in evidence in the first place.
So you say the defense attorney fucked up?
The defense attorney fucked up. It's like he should have just objected right away to having him even put into evidence. So right after they played the first tape, which is George Zimmerman calling 911 and saying, neighbor's been robbed. My wife saw some guy that fits the description of one of the people that have robbed our neighbor. He's out there. I want you to come. And what this does, I guess, for the prosecution's thinking, is sets up this kind of pattern.
Profiling
pattern. I mean, if you have 10 fucking 911 calls from George Zimmerman and it's 10 black guys in hoodies, it could be looked at like, all right, is this guy just after black guys in hoodies? Truth of the matter is, everyone that's breaking into that place is a black guy in a hoodie. It's not George's fault that his description is the same every time. It's the black guys in the hoodies that are robbing the fucking place that seem to be the problem. But the prosecution can present it as a pattern. Now relevancy is a fucking issue. So they got to argue that. So the judge was like, look, you didn't put it in, you didn't object to it when we put it in. But she is allowing an argument to go. So they dismissed the jury yesterday. For the rest of the day as they discussed this, and then they decided they were just going to recess until 9 today and argue it like from 8:30 to 9 outside the view of the jury, and then start the case again at 9 today. So that's where they stopped yesterday. But I was sitting there before it even happened. I'm watching going, why the fuck are they allowing these previous calls to be played? The prosecution argued that since in the tape that is relevant, he says, oh, these assholes always get away. Oh, these fuckers do this all the time. He said it's relevant to see which assholes had gotten away in the past. And to play those tapes. But the defense is arguing that none of these have relevancy, and if they do allow this in, then some prior records of Trayvon's can be brought in.
By the way, this is what the Post talks about. This is what the paper says.
Yeah.
Curse of the killer. Trayvon trial opens with an F-bomb. But I mean, that's what the papers...
And that's the defense. The prosecution opened with, fuck and...
The word fuck.
Yeah.
Again,
what a dumb country.
That's what you're going to see, though, in this case.
We got the clip.
Yep.
Counsel, good morning.
The defense.
Fucking punks. These assholes, they always get away. Those were the words in that grown man's mouth.
Points at Zimmerman.
As he followed in the dark a 17-year-old boy.
Oh, stop
who he didn't know. And excuse my language, but those were his words, not mine. Fucking punks. These assholes, they always get away. Those were the words in that man's chest when he got out of his car, armed with a fully loaded semi-automatic...
Well, we have decided that we have to institute a 7-second delay. I want to apologize.
Oh my God. The news should just go away. That was what? That was MSNBC.
And they're not even bound by the FCC.
No, that's
right.
Cable news.
It's obviously a huge trial, and as a news organization, you're going to fucking tap out of real language that's going down in the courtroom.
That's our country right there.
Yes.
And
Dumb fucking Americans.
And then, like we just joked about, they'll go to a story where there's some fucking bloody body on the street.
It's in a court
because for some reason that's okay.
It's in a court of law where, protocol and things are very strictly adhered to, respect of the court, and that's allowed because it's such a
it's allowed on MSNBC, Jimmy.
Right.
People get confused, but on MSNBC, you're allowed to curse.
And the context of it, though, isn't just, some punks running around cursing. This is testimony.
Of course.
This is fucking,
Oh, my God.
And they can't even excuse it for that. They have to apologize.
Oh, Christ.
Unfucking believable.
It's disgusting.
It's embarrassing.
Our media is disgusting.
Dude, they're embarrassing.
Wow.
We're very sorry for the... Like, we don't mind you hearing about the 17-year-old being shot in the chest.
Right.
But sorry, the F word slipped out.
Right.
God, they are fucking terrible,
The
man.
incident itself was horrific, what went down that night, no matter whose side you're on.
That is
But let's not curse on our TV.
That's embarrassing.
It really is embarrassing.
We're an embarrassing country.
7-second delay.
We're going to tap out of the biggest trial in the country, which you all know somebody winds up dead in, because the F word was used. Legally, we don't have to, but we're such whores for the advertisers that General Electric or General Mills or whoever the fuck else is advertising may walk away. Not on the murder talk, but on the F-bomb. So being the prostitutes that we are, we're going to back out until we can somehow repaint Zimmerman terribly again for you. God, do they suck.
It's complete lunacy. It's unbelievable.
They are terrible, man.
Holy fuck.
Our priorities in this fucking country are so screwy. It's insanity.
And the press is a disgrace. They're a disgrace.
They are.
I gotta hear it again.
A total disgrace.
I would almost understand if it was a regular network, because, like, hey, they don't need an FCC complaint. I would almost... But the fact that that's MSNBC
not bound by FCC,
and the FCC would knock the fucking
probably never.
No, they would not.
No, that
was a live feed, right?
Live feed, news oriented.
Oh my God,
Counsel.
Wow.
Good morning.
Counsel. Good morning.
Fucking punks.
Oh, that's what he called the jury.
Assholes, they always get away. Those were the words in that grown man's mouth as he followed in the dark a 17-year-old boy who he didn't know. And excuse my language, but those were his words, not mine. Fucking punks. These assholes, they always get away.
Because they do.
Those were the words in that man's chest when he got out of his car, armed with a fully loaded semi-automatic...
Well, we have decided that we have to institute a 7-second delay. I want to apologize for that language that came out.
Oh, you fucking
Oh, my
cunt.
God. And it's too late anyway, and it sounds like they're kind of moving on from that point.
Right.
So they can't even figure that shit out in their head.
That's amazing.
What, they had to show some kind of responsibility?
Oh, with babies.
With what? With what? Like, first of all, do you honestly think, if you want to say we're protecting the children, do you think that children are watching the Zimmerman trial?
Of course.
On MSNBC? I don't think so. The truth of the matter is, no one's watching the Zimmerman trial on MSNBC. No one's watching MSNBC.
But what parent needs their children protected from the F word?
I know. It's ridiculous. I don't think there would have been one complaint.
I don't care. I curse around my kids.
Yeah.
Maybe that's bad, but I'm not going to go down that road. And I don't need TV to fucking raise my kids. What the fuck is going on in this country?
Thank God they cut that off and apologized.
Holy fuck.
Yeah. That's why I watch it on the online feed. It's so much better. You don't get the commercials. You don't get the commentary. You just sit there. There's no graphic on the bottom. You get everything that happens in that courtroom.
You get it pure, uncut.
Exactly.
Isn't that more pushing people towards the internet? Like, even cable is blowing it.
Yes.
But I was ready to make this point, but the internet, doesn't understand that everyone wants their shit, real talk, and they fuck up all the time now too. Like TMZ recently, we didn't do the story because we ran out of time. What was it? The Kate Upton topless shots? Yeah. They're advertising on TMZ, which is, that's their world, all that gossipy shit.
Yeah.
That they got topless pictures of Kate Upton. Who doesn't want to see that, right?
Hubba.
You go to TMZ and you don't see the topless shots. So what the fuck are they doing?
Yeah.
And they could show it. TMZ could show topless shots.
Whoa.
Well, now they're showing it.
Why is she on a horse naked?
Well, now they're showing it.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah. That's what someone said when they walked. I always feel too long. Knock, knock.
Originally, they did not show the topless shots. But now they're showing them. So okay, I guess maybe they got too many people going. What the fuck you doing?
Yeah, where is it?
Because when it first hit TMZ, they did not show that at all. Wow, now you get to see.
Those are some hangers she's got.
She's got some big and heavies. She's going to be a huge girl eventually.
I cannot. Yeah,
They're pixelated.
I can't stand.
Are they pixelated?
Oh, we can't tell from here.
Yeah, I think the nipples are.
Oh well, if you look at your computer from 6 feet away,
Yeah,
they're not pixelated.
I hate
Okay.
TMZ. I click on their links on Twitter all the time because they have like the thing like that, and you'll be
Right.
like, oh, I want to see it. And I refuse to click on it. I still get bamboozled, though, every so often because
Yeah.
I can't stand clicking on it. And it's like, today we noticed that, oh, my God. They have that
Cartoon
over-the-top
guy.
fucking shit.
Cartoon guy.
And you feel less of a human just for watching it. It's terrible.
Yeah, I don't know.
Crap.
Kate, I mean, everyone's about
gossipy, Gertie.
Everyone is all about Kate Upton, but she's going to be a huge fucking
She's
bitch.
a thick girl. She's a thick
Her
girl.
shelf life is maybe 2 more years. That's it. And she's going to be as big as that fucking doorway eventually.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a thick girl. She's got youth on her side right now.
Big girl.
Big through the hips. Roomy.
Can we see what what's his name has tweeted lately? It's one of my favorite things we do. He asks questions.
I know.
If we're doing
Do you
TMZ,
think?
we got to go to the ask questions segment.
Do you think? What do you think? What are your opinions?
Well, how about you? It's your Twitter. How about you tell us what you think?
Yeah.
Harvey.
And they're the most inane
Harvey.
questions.
Yeah,
what are the questions are like, so no one, like, who cares?
What are some of the questions Harvey's asking these days, Sam Roberts?
Chris Brown accused of assaulting girl in nightclub. What do you believe?
Yes, I believe he did. Yes. All right. Now what?
How about Harvey? You tell us what you believe.
Nick Wallenda, Grand Canyon High Wire. Thank you, Jesus. Was it Jesus or luck on Nick's side?
Oh, Reverend Al is looking terrible.
Well, we got some Paula Dean Reverend Al shit that we're going to do in a little bit here.
Wow.
What else?
Miley Cyrus rocks shortest shorts imaginable.
I clicked on that.
What do you think of her latest
God,
look?
does he suck?
What do you think of it? Well, how about you tell us?
These are like the Dennis Falcone radio
He's
tricks.
terrible.
Of, like, engaging your
listener.
audience.
Involve them.
And he's got like 1 billion Twitter followers. For what reason? He just asks dumb
'Cause
questions.
The people that like him, they're like, oh, yes, let me type in what I believe.
Because I
he's
think Harvey's
asking
gonna,
me.
he's going to read my tweet. I
Yes.
know he's going to.
I'm part of this story.
Right.
People could have a lot of insight on this. Billy Ray and Tish Cyrus make peace for lunch anyway. Do you think they will call off the divorce?
I don't know. I'm not in their lives. I have no fucking idea what's
And
going on.
Who fucking gives
fuck?
a shit to the umpteenth degree? Who gives a shit?
But this is his thing, man. Every day he just asks questions
yeah.
on his Twitter.
He's got questions. It's like Troy Kwan.
Anything else? That's about it for today. How about one more, Sam?
Paula Dean's ridiculous video apology for using the N-word. Do you think her apology was sincere?
Who cares?
Yeah, if I wanted to know what I thought, I would follow myself on Twitter, not you.
Right,
Yes,
right.
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 I would just
know
read
it.
my own feed.
I've never even given this thought. Yes, what do I think? Oh, my God.
James Gandolfini reportedly guzzled 8 drinks hours before his death. Could it have a connection to his death?
Well, all right. Now you got me pissed
I'm
off.
a medical examiner. Let me.
He's a cunt for that tweet.
Yeah.
The guy wasn't guzzling drinks. Was he enjoying himself and having a few drinks? Yes, but this asshole has to twist it because it's not tragic enough and make it sound like he's just there like
Hey, it's a very difficult situation.
guzzling fucking drinks. He wasn't guzzling drinks.
Guzzling.
Guzzling is very different than having a bunch of drinks at dinner.
Yeah, it wasn't like it was 40 drinks. It was 8.
Yeah.
Like
But he's
known
saying
people
guzzle
who
like
had-
he's just like, oh my God, I'm just slamming these back one after another.
Jesus Christ.
Paula Dane.
Oh, my God.
Waka Flocka says, I'm producing Amanda Bynes' rap album. She's going to kill the game. Can she make it as a rapper?
I don't know. How would I know that? I don't have any insight to that shit.
I would guess no. I'm going to guess no.
Okay.
There.
Oh, that's
that was
it?
my, yeah.
So you're going to tweet Harvey and just write no?
Yeah, no.
Okay, that's good.
You could answer all of Harvey's things with a yes, or no. I think I might just start doing that.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, no, yes, no.
Harvey's the one who's supposed to know the answers.
Yeah, you're the inside guy.
It's not even that bad that he's like asking questions because it stimulates conversation. I understand that part of it, but the fact is he never gives his own opinion on any of this shit.
No.
Like, how about you ask the question and then give what you think?
Harvey's Twitter, is it good?
Right.
No.
50 Shades of Grey movie finds a female director. What do you make of the decision?
Wow.
That's terrible.
Wow.
But and then he'll never tell you what he thinks.
No. But they're not even interesting questions. Who gives a fuck
Yeah.
about a female director?
It's not interesting.
At least
all.
phrase it better. Director has cunt. What's on your mind?
We had him
Go.
on.
Discuss.
We had him on once, didn't we, when he first started
did
that
we?
TMZ thing?
Yeah.
Yep.
Terrible.
Wu-Tang's Jizza teaches kids science with least lame rap ever. Is using rap to educate a good idea? Why/why not?
Oh, why?
Oh.
Why not?
Yeah.
Wow.
Complete sentences only.
Yes, show your work.
Wow, he added why not on that one. Usually it's just why.
Well, he's giving you two options. Why?
Wow.
He's like, even if you don't think so, let's hear it.
Right.
Yeah.
All right,
Let's
but
hear
what do
it.
you think? Harvey? What do you think?
Harvey.
All answers have to start with, using rap to educate is a good idea because...
Yeah, this way you can...
Yeah.
You're running out of characters fast at that point.
Well, still, he wants to know why not?
Yep.
Does he give one stupid opinion on anything on his Twitter?
Yes.
You found it. You found an opinion.
I think this counts.
Okay.
/ no shirt, no shoes, no top hat. What do you think of his look?
He's not, but he's not giving an opinion.
Oh, I was incorrect then.
Oh.
I guess I was wrong on that one.
All right, I have to know who wore the top hat. I need to know now. I
got roped in.
I got roped in.
You got roped in.
Who did the top hat thing? Is that Slash without a top hat?
Yeah, he's just saying / went swimming and he didn't have a top hat on.
Whoa,
That's
that
it?
doesn't even
That's
look
a
like
story?
Slash. But you know what?
What?
I wouldn't even recognize that as Slash. No sunglasses, no hat.
Yeah,
I'd be like, I don't know who that is.
Wow. Yeah.
I never would have guessed who that was.
Wow. Yeah. You kind of see it if you look.
I don't know,
I
dude.
don't know. All right. Yeah.
That's not a bad one. Good pick. Good pick.
But of course he's not swimming with a top hat. I mean, Jesus. Of course he's not.
Boy.
J. Cole, gun-toting Twitter fan investigated by police. Should the fan be charged for the incident?
What?
I guess there was a gun incident, but now he's asking his Twitter followers if legally this fan should be charged for... Why don't we just find out from the police?
Right.
Whether or not he should be charged.
What?
Right.
No one cares.
All right. Well,
no one fucking cares.
It was nice to see Kate Upton topless, though. I'll tell you that much.
Paula Dean, I've used the N-word, but I'm not racist. Racist or not? Share your thoughts.
How the fuck do you know? Well, you don't know.
I don't know. I think how she used the word doesn't make her a racist, but I have no idea if she is a racist.
30 years ago, in that deposition, that's when she said nigger. 30 years ago.
She loses her fucking empire over something she said 30 years ago.
In the South,
remember
a Southern woman 30 years ago.
Remember the time where it didn't matter what the fuck you did?
That's great.
Before you got the job?
The only people, by the way, who have stuck up for her, besides, of course, the radio show, are black people.
Yeah.
They're there was one black
Why are they
Food
sticking up
Network
for her?
because they know the.
Even they think it's ridiculous.
Hopefully they've had enough of fucking white phoniness. Sharpton stuck up for her.
Yeah, we got the audio.
Sharpton had his own agenda.
But I'm saying at least, you know.
What do you mean? What was his own?
His own agenda is how the fuck is he going to get on the news and criticize and want her to have some kind of punishment for something she said 30 years ago when he's got fucking a graveyard of skeletons from 30 years ago.
But he still did. I know what you mean, though.
I'm a stupid man. That's right. Of course that. Because I was confused. I'm like, Reverend Al's sticking up for Paula Dean because he goes after everybody else for their little slips.
He knew he'd be targeted, so he had to fucking come out.
He had
and
no
say,
choice.
Yes, no choice.
But
he had no fucking choice.
He's been Teflon with that stuff. Like none of those things have. He's a master of deflection. He's like,
and it's because he's black, but that helps.
But he's also good at. He has not had to pay for that at all.
No,
every time that comes up, he gets out.
Amazing.
So I like the fact that he's stuck up for it all.
All right, why don't we listen to Reverend Al then?
Sure.
His comments on Paula Dean.
Paula Dean, she made apologize this weekend. Do you think she's done enough to regain her dignity and her brand back?
Well, I mean, I think that it was not just her saying that she used racial language. A lot of us have, in the past, said things we have regretted saying years ago. I think she has a lawsuit now about activities now, whether it was discriminatory and whether or not she's engaged in things now. It's not about her past, and whether she's regained it, I don't know. I think they're still in litigation.
So she deserves a break?
I mean, she deserves what's fair, but that's based on what she's engaged in now. There's an active lawsuit now. So I think you cannot deal with what is fair or not fair until we see the outcome of the present circumstances she's accused of, not something 20 years ago.
I get it.
Oh, he didn't
He's
really
an
do
asshole.
anything.
He was fucking skiing around all sorts of shit there.
He's excusing her for things that she said in the past because everybody says things in the past.
That's
fucking white interloper.
That's because, back to your point, that they would go after him for the same fucking thing.
Right.
But he has to add, well, but what about the stuff she's doing right now?
So he's still hanging her out to dry.
And what is the stuff she's doing right now?
Whatever lawsuits are against her right now.
Sexual harassment? Not a sexual harassment.
It's some work environment
harassment,
shit.
yeah.
Just harassment?
Yeah.
What was what?
I don't know. I'm not
Does anyone know?
It's got something to do with something work environment, like an unpleasant work environment.
Yeah, I think some.
Yeah, she would go around saying racial shit. And
it's gonna be a disgruntled. It's a disgruntled
like
employee.
that.
But even though Sharpton has his own motives,
some shit.
I still like how he handled that because he still could have thrown her under the bus more.
He had no choice. I'm with Anthony on this one.
He
had no fucking choice, and
it could not throw her
and
under
it
the
bothers him to the point. That's why he said now a million fucking times because he wanted to say a lot there.
Of course he did.
I'll tell you why he could have. Because he's mad. No one has been able to nail him with that stuff in all these years, and it's just farther and farther
he does
removed.
things like this.
And Jimmy, soon as he does that, they pull out all the fucking tapes. Somebody will.
Yeah.
Somebody will, even if it's a dumb internet show.
Oh, Reverend Al, remember when you said this about the Jews?
And this and this.
Here's your fucking speech during the Crown Heights problem. And they would fucking nail him on what he said in the past. So he's like, that doesn't matter. But and here's how I fucking translate it. Oh, she's a fucking racist.
Right.
And what she's saying now is just as bad as the past. Fuck the past thing. We don't even need to bring that up. Here's what she does now, and she's a piece of shit. That's what Reverend Al says. Yeah. Fuck Reverend Al and his ass.
The key there was him saying now a lot.
Right.
That's him being fully fucking aware of his past and how this somehow could bring back some of that old shit.
Yeah.
No, I think I disagree. I think it was even though, believe me, I hate him.
How do you have faith in him? What he's saying?
I don't. I only like that one moment. And it's not that I don't think that his past would come up, but no one has been able to nail him with it. And Hannity has played it. Everyone's played it. Nobody cares what he said 20 years ago. Because he's black and because he's Sharpton. No, everybody knows and nobody cares.
This one's a little close to what he went through. A little too close, I think. You know?
Yeah.
A little too close.
Reverend Al.
Yeah, fuck Reverend Al.
Go Reverend Al. Look at him.
I'll be honest, that's the first time I heard the clip. I was surprised when I heard that he was speaking up.
Well, they bring him out commenting on the Zimmerman trial and stuff, too, so, you know.
You're missing
that.
You're missing the horror show, though.
What's that?
I was watching Anderson Cooper last night, and they had the whole George Zimmerman, discussion. And they had Marcia Clark on there.
Oh, God.
Anderson Cooper said, Marcia Clark, so what do you think? I'm like, I've been watching Marcia Clark for the last 10 minutes.
You didn't know it was her?
Holy fuck! Holy fuck!
What'd she look like?
Maybe we can find a clip from last night there, Sam. That would be great. I couldn't believe that was Marcia Clark. It was last night, if they got a clip up there already.
Day one, F-bomb and knock-knock joke. That's what you get.
Yeah.
Wraps it right up, doesn't it? That's ridiculous. No.
Very good, Sam.
No.
Very good visual joke there, Sam.
No.
Nope, that's not it. Whatever. All right, we'll find it. I couldn't believe it was her. She's had some shit done.
Oh, yeah?
Good or bad?
Will work?
Unrecognizable. Just like kind of just bloated face.
Whoa.
Just squeezing all her features away.
Love that.
That's what happens when you gain a little weight. It squeezes all your features away.
Yeah. I don't know. I just find it fucking ridiculous what they report, what they don't report, and it will make people angry if which I still believe Zimmerman's going to be acquitted, and
then all hell breaks loose.
All hell breaks loose because the media will not portray this in an honest light. They have an agenda as they broadcast this,
right?
And if people only feed off of the news, they're going to have a lot of questions as to why he was acquitted, if he is, again, as I said.
But you can't get one fucking guy on TV to discuss this. What about Fox? Are they discussing it a little more honestly?
No, they're all about sound bites, too. So,
right.
No one really... And fucking Nancy Grace.
That guy is good.
Oh, my God. She's on her show... crying her eyes out.
What?
About for Trayvon's mom. Watch that. Turn this up. Turn this up. It's great.
But
it's great.
I'm gonna start dry heaving though.
You're on TV. I'm speaking as a mother.
Look at her. Look at her.
If I had heard my son cry out like that, Gene, what happened in the courtroom?
when the defense
Look at these
said we're going to play
babbling
the call
cunts.
for you, and I think they just started it. Sabrina Fulton, who I saw, Nancy, had been shaking in her seat. I mean, through the prosecution's
Can you
opening,
pause
I
for a
just saw
second?
her shaking.
The only thing I want to say is like, that would be a great moment if it was real. She's such a fucking phony. That's why it's so disgusting.
She's a phony load of shit.
If that was some real emotion from a mother, all right, fine, I'll give it to you. But you just know that she's a phony and that she does this shit to get people to watch.
And by the way, let me also say something. The prosecution is brilliant in this case in what they did with this situation that Nancy Grace is crying over. They have a 911 call that someone made, a neighbor, when they heard a ruckus going on outside. In the background of the 911 call, through the person's phone in the house, you hear, help, help. You hear someone yelling, help. This has been argued since day one of this case.
Right.
Who is yelling help? The defense says it's absolutely George Zimmerman. He was being assaulted, and before he finally shot Trayvon, he was yelling, help, help, help. Other people have said it's Trayvon yelling help. Meanwhile, why would he be yelling help if he's bashing George's face in right up until he gets shot? Whatever. They had experts from both sides that were determining who said it through voice analysis and whatnot. It was so inconclusive that the judge ruled we're not having these experts testify. The jury will never see.
And they just can't figure out who it is.
They can't. There's
With all
no
the shit
way
that
to
we got
figure it
nowadays.
out.
Wow.
No way.
Wow.
The voice is so strained and stressed, and it's through a phone coming through a building over 911 recording. There's no way to tell. We don't live in this CSI TV world. So the judge even said, no, we're not having these experts testify as to who this is. Either side, I guess, can claim who it is, but there's no expert testimony.
Wow.
So yesterday, they play the tape in front of the jury. You hear the help, help, help. Trayvon's mother gets up in front of the jury crying and leaves the courtroom. Now the jury will assume that she knows it's her son.
She knows her son's voice.
And fucking now they'll be like, oh, it's got to be her son on the tape. She left in tears. It's brilliant.
That is brilliant.
It's a brilliant way to make the jury think it's Trayvon without having expert testimony.
That's great.
It's brilliant.
What a smart move.
And you damn well know the prosecution talked to Trayvon's mom and said, when we play this, why don't you get up and, if you're, then maybe not even said it like that. They probably went, if you're feeling a little emotional, you could get up and leave.
The jury will see that.
They will see it.
Why don't we just ask George Zimmerman? He knows.
Of course he does. He was there.
Why don't we just ask him?
He said it was him.
He's officially said it was him.
He officially said it was him.
Imagine if they played it and then Zimmerman walked out too, and then him and the mother just walked out together, both crying.
So that's what Nancy Grace now is talking about.
Okay.
And she's crying and reporting that it was Trayvon screaming.
She should know better.
She should be a little more open to the fact that it's inconclusive and report that it's inconclusive, you fuck.
All right, let's play it out here. Nancy Grace, who makes me dry heat when I see her on TV. She's really tough to look at.
I really hate her.
That courtroom so quickly. And a lady pastor who is there behind her got up immediately and followed her, and I heard the pastor say to the deputy, is she okay? The pastor came back in. Sabrina Fulton did not come back in that courtroom before lunch.
Jane Casares joining me there in the field. And listen, people, we're just in opening statements. I got to hear the evidence before I make a call on this. But I do.
You're already making a call.
If I had heard my son crying out like this on a 911 call, I don't know if I could have stood up to leave the courtroom. Listen to what this jury heard.
It sounds like a male. And you don't know why? I don't know why. I think they're yelling help, but I don't know. Just send someone quick. Say stop. Okay. Does he look hurt to you? I can't see him. I don't want to go out there. I don't know what's going on. So they're sending him.
Wow, you know what? I can't believe they can't figure out who that is, because that's really important.
That's a whale.
Very important.
That's really fucking important.
Very important. Yep.
And they just can't figure it out.
No.
And there's no other, like, tapes of that.
No, that was
from somebody.
911 call.
Yeah, no, I understand. But from somewhere else, or... Wow, that's really important.
Because it's so out of the register of anybody's normal speech pattern.
Right.
So you need that sample. It's just a weird...
Holy fuck, that's too bad they can't figure that out.
And it's been through so many different cycles of phone recording that you're going to get some kind of a bastardized version of it. So, yeah, that's why the judge said, no, we're not going to have your experts come in and testify. Because obviously, when you get these experts, they're paid experts. So the prosecution will pay experts to come in and say that it was Trayvon.
Right.
The prosecution, the defense will have paid experts that'll say it was George Zimmerman. And all it does is throw more confusion in for the jury. So
I got an idea.
Yeah.
Can we take George Zimmerman's dinner plate away, and he'll start wailing, and then they could kind of...
You want to... I'm hungry!
And then they could kind of compare to see if it was him, or...
Help! Food!
That was a wailing help.
Holy fuck, did he gain a lot of weight. Where's he getting the big man suits?
Yeah. And it is...
Big and tall.
It is true that... and this will come out in later testimony when they start interviewing the cops that were on the scene. George Zimmerman did, in his statement, first cops that came up, when he was running through what happened, he said, I was yelling, help, help, during that part. So that happened, that was told to the police right after this happened.
Right.
So
Nancy
a lot
Grace,
of things, by the way, a lot of things that are in George Zimmerman's initial statement line up with the evidence.
Right.
That was collected at the scene, the statements that were made to police. There's none of these huge holes in his story that really can bust it apart. Again, I'm not fucking siding with George Zimmerman on this. I'm telling you what the evidence is that the jury's going to hear. Not with the emotion in there, and not with fucking knock knock, and they said the F word during the trial. This is what the jury is hearing. And based on that, the prosecution has a very, very difficult time, regardless of dumb knock-knock jokes and using the F word, of proving that this is second-degree murder. And George Zimmerman has a very viable self-defense case here. That's what
all right.
That's what I'm seeing.
Wonderful.
Will he testify?
You know what?
He has to.
He very well might testify in this case.
He has to.
He's not one of these witnesses that has anything to hide, really. It's not like they could bust out this earth-shattering TV-style questioning that's going to trip him up. All he has to do is follow his statements. Follow his statements.
And he has to let them know him as a person.
Doesn't look like Marsha Clark at all.
Thanks to someone on Twitter. But the hair's now black, too, on top of this.
Yeah? Oh.
Yeah, she
it
has
was black
hair.
It was black back in the day.
Glock Guy 45. What?
Wasn't it black back in the day, Marsha Clark? Then she got that afro.
Yeah, it was black and
it was like dark. Yeah. She got wound up.
Wait,
getting
how
like
did she used to look? I don't remember. Oh, yeah, okay.
OJ days, right. She got
no, now it's jet black, but okay, I see what you're saying.
She was sporting the Sam Roberts before Sam.
Yeah, but she is unrecognized. There you go. That's sort
she looks like Lady Di.
Yeah, that's sort of what she looked like last night.
It's like Lady Di if Lady Di actually fixed herself up.
Wow,
got that
she's
fat
had
face.
a lot of work done.
Yeah, she's got a bit of the Frozen face, too.
If she hasn't had work done, she's just eating a lot.
Yeah.
ladies out there, listen to us. The Botox thing makes your fucking face look frozen.
Exactly. I'd rather just turn you over and fuck you from the back.
They don't have that shit figured out yet, man.
Yeah,
fucking relax on that shit.
Yeah.
All right. We should break. I guess Mark Maron had to come to New York for something, and he's going to stop on by and see us as well today. Very
Nice.
cool.
Very good.
And there was something else. Michael Jackson died 4 years ago today.
4 years?
That's 4 years already?
Jesus.
Jesus, hey, Christ.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. And one more plug for our podcast, because the feedback on episode number 6 has been off the charts.
Oh, huge.
People are loving the 8-track porn.
They loved it.
They say it's beyond hilarious, and you get to hear Patrice O'Neill again. And, of course, Scott Thorson, who is Liberace's ex-lover there.
Yeah.
And then the Opie and Anthony Nugget. But most important, the 8-track porn is killing on this week's podcast. They're loving it.
And if you subscribe now,
right,
then you'll get that one. Plus, tomorrow morning, the new one pops up.
Come on.
A brand new Opie and Anthony podcast, about an hour and 15 minutes every week.
Here's the
available to you.
podcast. Do you like it? Do you like it? Isn't it great?
Every Wednesday morning, it's available, the new episode.
Yeah.
We're thinking about maybe doing Dave Rabbit and his Vietnam radio tapes.
Oh, yeah.
We got that suggestion on my Facebook page. It's not a bad one. And then you came up with one. What was the one you said?
What did you say, Sam?
I'm thinking for tomorrow's,
Good.
we have Dave Rabbit.
Right.
And we have the Tony Danza line.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Wasn't that great, people, right? Don't you love it?
Did that
Did you
bit
like
make
it?
you happy? I failed if you're not happy, Sam.
Fuck yeah, we gotta do that.
Yeah.
Oh, we used to fuck with the Tony Danza line.
Oh,
Anthony mostly,
great.
certainly.
What a load of fun that was.
That horrendous show.
Danza. An extravaganza. Extravaganza. Oh, that show stunk.
They gotta keep shows like that on TV, though,
I know.
man. We have nothing to make fun of these days.
No.
Especially not E-Rock, who's so sharply dressed today.
Oh, my God.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
Wait, he looks good. Happy
Weird,
fun.
right?
We got to talk about that, but we got to take a break. I already started
Gotta
eating.
talk about that? Fucking women.
He goes fucking women. But he doesn't understand our perspective on this shit.
He does. He's
Why
trying to
doesn't he
divert.
understand our
This is
perspective?
dressed up? He's trying to
It's the
divert.
first time you've worn a collared shirt in here. Yes.
Exactly.
No. He knows what he did. He's trying to divert.
Exactly.
All right, we'll get into it next.
Oh, yeah.
The Opie and Anthony Show on Sirius XM. Sirius XM's The Opie and Anthony Show.
Well, I guess it would be nice if I could touch your body. I know not everybody has got a body like you, but I gotta think twice before I give my heart away. And I know all the games you play because I play them too. Oh, but I need some time off from that emotion.
How many years ago was the first time George Michael was
Took
sucking
cum?
cock in the bathroom? Gotta have cock. I gotta have cock.
I don't know why he's playing this.
Yeah.
Are you playing this
Maybe
for...
he just likes it.
Oh, it's his birthday today. Oh, duh. Stupid me. He's 50 today.
50?
George Michael
I just saw Chris Rock.
was 50. Yeah,
Big star in the building.
some shit's going on today.
This is big today.
Are we allowed to say what's going on today? I don't know.
Well, I think so, because
Yeah.
he kind of talked about it last week.
Oh, yeah.
When he was in here.
Chris Rock is filming part of his new movie here at Sirius XM today.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long, I don't want to, as long as we don't give any details about the movie.
Yeah.
And we're going to be part of it for probably 5 seconds. They're filming us.
Yeah, they're going to film us interviewing his character here in our studio.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's going to come in later on after the show today, and they'll have all the cameras and lights and all that happy horse shit, and we'll be like, "Hey, what up?"
Yeah.
What up, guy? That's not Chris Rock.
Hey, and then what? They go into Shade, and they do it there, and then they go into like OutQ, and they do it there, and they go into and then they cut it all together. So there'll be like one of us at some point going, so, character name, guy,
Tell us about your new movie.
Is that what you're going to be thinking? Like, okay, I got to ask a question that they can splice in. None of this conversation bullshit.
No.
Oh, fuck
Got to
no.
be the sound bites.
Right.
It's all about sound bites.
Knock, knock. That'll be mine.
All right.
Jackie!
Yay!
How you
Good
doing?
job!
Oh,
Thank you!
Jackie.
Look at that, just like I asked for! Perfect! Jackie, put it right in the right area.
Oh, more stuff!
Oh my God!
Thank you.
Thank you! Home run, Jackie!
I was bringing coffee.
What? It's our intern, man.
Did that for like a year
Nice and hot, just the way I like it.
We got a new attitude around here, Sam. What's wrong with you? Get on board. Don't be a hater.
Really?
Why are you a hater,
Piece of
man?
garbage.
Turning things around this joint.
Really?
I had shit thrown at me.
She's
Thrown
into me.
at me.
Right.
Yay!
Well, you should.
Exactly. You've been doing it back to us for the last 8 years. You rock.
Well, speaking of the movie shoot,
Well, yeah.
we all were kind of told to maybe like dress a little better than usual. So
I totally ignored that.
I noticed.
I'm wearing exactly what I wear every day. Why would I do anything different?
Because you just got a logo on your shirt.
No,
Yeah.
but I have a shirt to cover it up.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they said
I
no
almost wore
logos.
Oh, they did. I almost wore
No
Sabbath.
logo.
But this is like, it's nothing. You won't see this.
Right.
It's fine.
I think it's fine.
So
And, well, obviously it's Opie, I, Jim Norton. Will be in
is that how you say that?
I don't know.
Technically, it would be Opie, Jim Norton, and I.
Yeah. Well, I was just doing it because I'm here.
Why didn't you say me there?
I don't know.
Wait, if you would say it would be, you'd say Opie, Jim Norton, and me.
But what if he said it the way he said it?
Then it would be.
Then we all think he's an ass, like we do.
No, I don't even
I
think
hate
he's an
that
ass.
me-I thing. I'm just like, it's me, Opie, and Jimmy.
Thank you.
That's what it is.
There you go.
Yeah. So that's, but I guess some people came in knowing that this was going to happen and assumed
He's already getting
assumed that if they dress the part and
I love how you have a whole story and scenario in your head.
How do you know we're talking about you?
No one was listening going to break hearing what all this shit was going on.
Will you let Anthony finish, please?
I can't even see what he's wearing.
It's a shirt. It's a plain shirt with a collar on it.
I got a movie that wait. Who's that? We need to get him in the movie. Oh no. What?
Sam, what's going on?
It's exactly like yours, Jim.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah,
Well-
but just something you would never.
Sam, what's going on?
Well,
break it down.
This morning,
Yes.
I was diligently working, and Travis said, "Sam, did you see what E-Rock is wearing today?" And I said, "Is it a wrestling shirt or a Doctor Who shirt?"
Because that's his
Right.
usual
It's
wear.
his uniform. We all
Sure,
have
That's his
uniforms.
uniform. Yes.
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
And
Of course not.
His uniform.
Look at Jimmy.
I love it.
No one gets a fucking break around here. You can't even dress nice for a movie without being ridiculed.
No. Just constant ridicule.
Travis let me know you gotta look at what E-Rock's wearing.
Right. Can I ask you a question, Sam?
Yeah.
Did it become a bit of a buzz around the joint
Oh yes.
before 6 a.m., which is crazy?
A bit of a buzz.
You can't get a buzz going before 6 a.m.
Oh,
around here.
they did.
Everyone's just
You can.
miserable and tired, but there was a buzz in the hallway.
Yeah, it was me, it was Travis, it was Sal. Everybody just figured out. Look at what's he going for here? What's he angling for?
Right? And what do you think?
The same thing everyone else here is angling for.
Everybody's wearing what they wear every day except you.
Yeah, because you wear that dress-up denim shirt all the time.
Oh,
Roland wears
shit.
pants all the time.
oh,
It's
fuck.
not a dress-up denim shirt. It's the same shirt Jim's made fun of multiple times on the air. So yes, I do wear it all the time.
Oh,
There's
wow.
actually
yeah. I've
record
seen
of it
that.
being
I've seen that
referenced.
shirt 1,000 times.
It's not a special shirt.
But now, E-Rock. So you're
I
going
love
through
the
your
smile on your face with this.
He loves it.
I love
Don't lick
this.
your lips.
It's so fun.
So, E-Rock, what was your thinking when you left? Just tell the truth. What was your thinking?
Right.
What was your thinking, Big Shot?
Well, there's something going on here today, so maybe I shouldn't look like a total piece of shit and go for a partial piece of shit by wearing just a plain collared shirt.
Plain collared shirt.
You think there might have been a thought that, like, well, sometimes what if, in the movie,
right?
They need somebody to come in and, like, take a photo.
And you can talk about your movie.
No.
That's true. You can start a little conversation about
two filmmakers.
Yeah.
Or what if
having some small talk in the hallway, maybe?
What if while Chris Rock's character is in here, one of you goes, our producer didn't bring us the prep sheet.
Oh, and then,
wow.
And then E-Rock comes in. Mr. Faversham!
Get Sal in here. I'm sure he's enjoying this too.
Oh, yeah.
Are you saying he's hoping for a cameo?
Yes.
Are you saying
He is hoping for a cameo.
Do you think he'll be good?
Oh, no. Walking in the door.
No, your prep sheet is here. No.
Sal, what's going on today? I hear there's a buzz in the hallway.
About what?
E-Rock's shirt.
Oh, yeah.
So how did it go down this morning?
Yeah. Everyone knows about
Well,
it.
I mean, E-Rock only gets dressed up like when he's got to go out for dinner or something like that. He's wearing a nice shirt today.
Or when he's going to make his Hollywood debut.
He looks good, though. He looks well,
I can't
put
really
together.
see. E-Rock, could you come in here for a second? I haven't seen this shirt.
It's weird to see him in a collared shirt.
That's a fresh shirt, by the way.
Is it fresh?
Yeah.
He bought that yesterday.
No.
Just for this?
Check for fold marks.
Yeah, it looks pretty sharp. Yeah.
Just for the... Oh, yeah. Oh, look at you.
Oh, that's a really nice collared shirt.
What do you got, a black shirt under it?
Double shirts, motherfucker.
That is nice, I gotta say.
Oh, wait a minute. Look who's clean shaven.
E-Rock, and your hair is... you've done your hair today.
My hair's always like that.
No, usually there's
I don't know. Sometimes it's blonde.
That's,
I haven't worn that hat in several months.
Okay.
And sometimes the hair is blonde.
Yeah.
For the summer.
That's been 2 years.
fresh shaven.
He's always got a little stubble.
Yeah.
Someone's ready to be discovered.
Are you
Jim Norton.
are you returning the shirt after today? Is the tag still on it?
Yeah.
You know, Cary Grant was a soda jerk.
That's right.
Yeah, when he was discovered, Gregory Peck was an usher in a movie theater.
Right.
He was discovered. What about here?
Get E-Rock some tequila so he can fight back.
Oh, my God.
Was there a little thought that, like, I might end up walking in on the shot?
No.
We need a
I didn't wanna
producer
look
character.
like a total piece of shit when
Who
they
can
were
we
shooting
get? Who can we get? You're like Lucy with Desi trying to be in the show.
Of course.
I haven't said a word about trying to do anything with this.
No saying needed, sir.
I'm so glad Mars said fuck the Hollywood movie fucking shoot today.
Wearing the same shirt I got.
The exact same fucking shirt for Mars today.
And could I have could Jackie or someone bring me a napkin, preferably Jackie, because she seems to do it well.
Oh yeah.
She's just right what you need. Boom.
She's
The best.
right in.
A few napkins.
Oh, I didn't see
that
it. I
is,
thanks, Sam.
So you got
oh, Sam.
Maybe we need a producer in the studio at some point.
Yeah, because what difference would it make if somebody looked like a total piece of shit in a different room?
Yeah.
If they're not in the room.
A guy wants to comment.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
On E-Rock's tweets.
Oh.
What's wrong with E-Rock's tweets? I'm not going to beat him up for his tweets. He does fine.
Yeah. Where is he?
The phone might be frozen.
Oh, my
Yay!
Jackie.
Hey, Jackie.
Some napkins.
Home run, Jackie. Perfect.
Thanks,
Once
Jackie.
again,
Perfect.
home run.
I gave them to
Thank
you
you,
already.
Jackie.
Yeah, but
What?
these are soft.
Yeah, no, those are better
not.
napkins.
I gotta blow my nose.
Those are better napkins, Sam. You can tell. You can tell they're better. They're
Jackie's
softer.
got great hair. It looks very 60s-ish.
Oh, E-Rock?
No, but E-Rock does have great hair. He really does.
I still have my hair, yeah.
I know. It's fucking, nice. Thick head of hair. That kid.
Fucking Sam.
What? Don't fucking Sam me. This is a room full of people. One of us is honest, though.
I'm being totally honest, but other people are making something out of nothing.
No, I wasn't talking about you not being honest. I was talking about me being honest about having a great time here.
Did you do anything before you left the house this morning?
That's right.
With the thought that there was going to be a camera crew in here today?
Yes, that's why I wore the shirt.
Okay. Now, why would you do that?
You're in a dark
this
room.
never happens here, so I didn't want to look like I usually do.
Well, what would it
Wouldn't
matter?
you want to present yourself nicely every day? Because in the end,
Wouldn't you?
What does it matter
Wouldn't
unless you would think you're on camera?
But
I
you don't dress nice
give
every
a
day.
Flying,
Why
it's
today?
obvious.
Does.
I look exactly like I do every day.
I think the difference would be that Jim and Anthony and Opie are going to be on
We'll
camera.
be on camera.
Yeah. So the idea is they would dress nice. If you're saying that they are dressed more nicely than usual,
No.
it's because they're going
Right.
to be on camera.
And E-Rock, we see nobody, and we do dress okay. You are walking around with these assholes all day long. So why wouldn't you dress nice in case, you know, it helps your fucking career?
Because it ain't going to help here.
Why then? Knowing you probably not
I
probably
already said why.
You're not going to be on camera. Why would you get dressed any
You never know, though. He's hoping for one of those moments.
You want a moment?
You need a thing brought in, yeah.
Were you hoping for a moment? Do you have somebody that could bring Chris in and like sit him down at the, you know?
Yeah.
No, Chris, take a seat.
Coffee.
Yeah, coffee. Oh, you bring. Oh,
Bring a
we
coffee.
need someone to bring a coffee
Yeah.
into Chris's character during the interview. Was that what you were hoping for?
This is a plain shirt. It's not like I dressed up in a suit or something like that.
Well, no, but you consciously.
cup of coffee?
There it is.
There you
Wow.
are. Enjoy it.
That would be a good one.
See, Travis didn't dress up.
Who's the coffee guy in that movie?
Yeah.
Travis has got a logo shirt on.
Fucking Spielberg will be sitting there.
Yeah.
The coffee guy in the Chris Rock movie. I've been looking. Oh.
The best part of all this is that the entire crew that's with Chris Rock, they're all wearing T-shirts.
Right.
Guy outside's got a flame shirt and shorts on.
Yes.
I've been reincarnated.
Well, that's because none of them are hoping to get on camera.
So you're saying they're all
no.
okay being behind the scenes?
Oh, E-Rock, there was an inkling. It's like, look, it might happen.
Yeah, it
I
might.
better dress
You never know.
appropriately.
Who knows?
You never know.
There's no other reason.
Oh, he just starts laughing. He's like, hey. You never know.
Well, I like when he's honest.
Yeah.
I do.
I like that he started by saying it's the same thing everybody did, and that everybody's just dressed like they always dress.
There's no difference.
Everybody's wearing the same shirt.
Sal's wearing one of his terrible V-neck shirts.
Oh, yeah. Horrible.
Yeah.
Sam's got a shirt that I've seen 1,000 times.
You know who looks great today? Jackie.
I thought you were going to say
Really?
So if
Where's
Chris Rock,
Jackie?
if
I
Chris
haven't
Rock,
seen her yet.
if Chris Rock comes in and says his character says, "Hey, do we have any coffee in here?"
Oh man,
Who's gonna bring in the
Where's
coffee?
my cup of coffee?
You got anybody really well dressed that can bring Chris's character some coffee?
Ah,
there he is.
But the question is, will Jackie get the part?
Oh man,
Yeah, who do you want,
would,
Jackie or you?
would
That's a
so
good
get
point.
the part.
How pissed would collared shirt Eric be if Jackie got the part?
Well, he's got a T-shirt underneath too, just in case, because they may say we want a more
What do you need?
casual look.
Could you come to work tomorrow with a few different looks? We need different looks.
Do you think? You think that Eric?
He just shakes his head and goes, ridiculous.
You think that Eric tried on a couple different undershirts to see what color were? I'm gonna wear gray and white.
You absolutely put on a couple of things, took it off, was like, no,
because I'm not a girl.
I didn't imply that, but you're a guy that, you know, was very conscious of what you wanted to wear today because this movie's being filmed. You didn't just throw one shirt on and go, all right, I'm out of the house. You checked, you made sure you looked and went, nah, you know what? I'm going to use this shirt. Or I'm going to change it
Does
to
that shirt bring out your dreamy eyes?
It's bedroom eyes.
Bedroom eyes.
Do you think he gave himself a sparkle blink before he left the house in the mirror? Sparkle, sparkle.
You're dressed up more than everyone else.
Oh, you're jacking off in front of the mirror like Dirk Diggler. Come on.
No, yeah, he just stood up and he looked at himself. Like, what did he say before he left? He's ready to go. Showtime.
You're a star.
You're a star. You're a fucking
You're a
star.
You're a star.
Star.
E-Rock's saying he's not dressed up. I've never seen you clean shaven, I don't think.
That's true.
Because you
Never.
grow that
9 years, never.
You grow that shit in hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep it clean shaven. No, I'm serious.
Once a week.
And I've never seen you in a collared shirt. Maybe outside here. Maybe at my wedding
Yeah.
or something.
Right.
But I don't know. I don't really remember the last time I saw you with a collared shirt.
Exactly. I wanted to see you in one collared shirt made out of rope. Just kidding.
And it looks like he might have got a facial, but...
Did you get a facial?
You are very fresh faced.
Yeah,
today.
your face is so fresh right now.
Do you think you went one showers and shaves in the morning?
Well,
so you don't usually don't shower.
You don't shower and shave in the morning. We've
I
seen.
shower in the morning.
I've seen you a little more grubby. Yeah.
I'm very lazy with shaving. It's once a week.
Not today, though.
Not today. You're a shaved kid.
Made sure today.
I didn't shave today. I shaved yesterday.
No, fuck that.
I'm starring in the movie.
Very good question. Very good question coming in.
Yes.
If you want to put your headphones on. I'm sorry that we're going to mess up your hair before the big the big shoot.
You could use that in your character. You've been doing radio all day.
Look how he's using. He's never used his headphones like that.
Oh boy, he doesn't want to mess that hair up.
Look, he's even
He's been in radio for 17 years and he won't put the headphones on.
He won't put the headphones on.
Joe in New York. What's up, Joe?
Well, I was just wondering, is E-Rock going to leave his new movie laying around hoping it gets discovered?
You got a movie laying around?
No.
To be
You got a
picked up?
script or treatment or
Nothing?
something? I mean,
All
I'm a
right.
filmmaker, too. Let me tell you about this movie.
It's gonna be like Kramer with Fred Savage.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Yeah, let's say hi to Justin in Ohio. Justin.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, man.
Hey, I'm wondering if this goes back to E-Rock's tweets last night calling Anthony an ass for calling him an elephant, and then shortly thereafter retweeting Dane Cook saying some people give you motivation to work harder to get the hell away from them.
Whoa!
Did you retweet that?
Of course I did.
Wow. Oh.
Wait, some shit went down last night?
I was just making a joke. What are the obvious?
What happened?
Like jokes.
What did I miss?
Uh-oh.
No, it was.
Explain
It was
this.
just one of those times where I'm looking at something and there's something from Anthony, and of course it's never good.
Oh,
it's something
it's
that
the
had nothing to
character
do
I
with
play.
me.
It's the character I play.
But when you
photo,
that's funny. Well,
when you drunkenly,
funny, bro.
but when you drunkenly told Ant that he doesn't like you, Ant said he did like you.
I do. I love E-Rock.
Yeah,
it's great.
What happened though? Why would you do an elephant joke?
Well, because everybody, makes the joke.
Because I tweeted something about elephants. I was watching a documentary.
Yes,
right?
yes. And I just put a picture of E-Rock.
Oh boy!
And a link with no other text or anything. It was just the picture.
But E-Rock was feeling specifically sensitive because he was trying to figure out what he was going to look like for his on-camera debut. You know what I mean? And body image issues are not something he wanted to struggle with.
Yeah, I know. It was bad timing.
It was. That's insensitive of you, Ant.
It was. I
I'll
know.
side with E-Rock on this one.
I
He's trying to
know.
get ready for his big movie debut.
I know.
And you were kind of being an
Fucking
asshole.
Sam. Big movie debut.
I'm on E-Rock's side.
Oh, well.
What have we got here? She dressed up too, huh?
Yeah, what the fuck? Is she looking for a part?
Yeah.
Those dresses are not flattering.
No, they're not.
They make you look way too
Yeah, she looks like she's a fucking. It's
way
like a
too
worm.
wide.
Looks like she's in India.
Did she just give us the finger?
I think he's shooting with the mashup, too.
Oh,
So this isn't that special.
But that's the
Honestly.
thing, like, the people...
This isn't special.
It is special.
I thought it was a little special.
No, it is special.
Not if they're filming them too.
All you have to do is perform well, and you'll be the ones who get used.
Yeah.
It's talking to you, too, E-Rock.
We're all going to
You
have
especially.
like a split second. It's going to be a montage interview scene. It's guaranteed.
Don't say we're all.
Well.
You three. Not,
Let's go to Pete in Connecticut. Pete.
Pete.
Hey, it's Keith, not Pete. Anyway, Eric, did you have a conversation with your wife last night and just say, this is my big opportunity?
See, they get it. Does this make me look less fat?
Oh, Jesus.
Which color is most slimming? I bought 4 polos.
Was there a discussion with the wife about this?
No.
Really?
Nope.
See, he doesn't give in.
I bet there was
He
a
doesn't
little
give in to the
discussion.
bit.
I bet there
ever.
was a talk.
You think there was a little talk?
So, Chris Rock filming a movie tomorrow. No?
No.
Didn't even talk about it?
It was like
Not
it was
really.
like one of those like, and probably nothing's gonna happen, but you just don't know with stuff like this. You never know when opportunity is gonna come up.
Yeah.
You know. And he said this. He said, and I know like we're both kind of in entertainment, but I'm more on the performing side of things. So this is the show business side of things.
These
So
fucking
this is-
listeners, man. I swear, I don't think there's funnier listeners for other radio shows. They just get it. Nick in Alabama, go ahead.
Hey, see if you can hook E-Rock up with one of those casting couch porno videos.
To get him into the movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe Chris Rock's character could bust a nut on his face or something.
Oh wow! Now you're going too far, sir.
E-Rock does not get that picture. It'll make him a big star. Yeah.
Maybe they need like a voice to tell everybody in their headphones, like, coming right back.
Right, and then the shot will go to the producer.
30 seconds, guys.
Yeah, fumbling with the buttons,
man.
boom, 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 making it all happen.
Great. You see everybody with the headsets and radios out there?
Well, he's also probably thinking, he's like, what if the guys have to leave early today or something? They don't end up shooting. They still want to do so. Maybe it'll be me and Jim.
Oh my God.
Yeah, can we get the producer kid in there? He's good. No, I love the shirt. Don't send him the wardrobe. The shirt's perfect. Send him in. Is he? I hope he's one of the Opie and Anthony guys, right? Well, even if he isn't, he is today. He's perfect for the part.
Why isn't he laughing? That's good stuff right there.
It's too funny.
That's good stuff.
All right, lights, speed, action. Wait a minute, who's that? All right, everyone, clear the set. Bring him in. That shirt, it's
He's almost smiling. He's almost smiling.
You can see how absurd it would be when taken to that level, right?
Sure, it's perfect.
Mr. Director, does he have his own trailer? What do we got for him? What do we got for him?
Renee, you want it? Yes. Could you set up a trailer for Mr. Nagel? No, the one that's bigger than Chris's. Yeah, that one. No, don't send wardrobe in there at all. He's perfect. He's already got the shirt. He thought this out. It's obvious. Get him the big trailer.
A honey wagon?
Get him the honey wagon. I want him to give him the big one. And, make sure he's back up here on set because we need him.
What, do we need to get him makeup?
Makeup? I thought he was wearing makeup. That fresh face is perfect. And who put that hairpiece on him? Because it's wonderful. It's the exact what? Natural? That's his? Unbelievable. Hollywood has missed this catch.
Look at that smooth skin and close shave.
It's perfect. Get him on set.
Ask him what he needs.
You know what? I don't even think Chris is the right person to play the lead in this movie. I think we found our new star.
Well, E-Rock.
I unfortunately, Tony from Brooklyn has a perfect observation.
Oh.
Unfortunately. Unfortunately is right. You'll understand in a second. Go ahead, Tony in Brooklyn.
Yeah, guys. You guys, if it was the total opposite, if he didn't get dressed up, he would have came in normal, like his normal shit, you guys would have been busting his balls. Why didn't you get dressed up? You guys had an opportunity, Hollywood people coming in, so E-Rock, unfortunately, you can't win in this.
Are you saying the things here aren't fair, sir?
E-Rock is the definition of the no-win situation.
That's right.
Yes, he is the Kobayashi Maru.
Yes, put that on the Wikipedia page.
Well, first of all, there's a problem. We really need... Why hasn't the craft service guy shown up? Oh, he has. Where's all the food?
Go there.
That's unfortunate.
That's unfortunate. Oh, my goodness. This is exciting.
Well, you
right?
look great, E-Rock. You look great.
Yeah,
you look
$1 million bucks.
Were you surprised that a buzz picked up so early this morning?
No, because you have nothing else to do.
Oh, man.
As soon as I walk past your office, I wasn't even halfway the hallway, and I hear this twink over here.
Did you know what it was about?
Of course I knew what it was about. Because as soon as I got down here and turned around, all I see from their office is Sal going like this. I was like, of course, this is where it's going.
Cruel.
Just gesture like he's
this is just
leaning around
bullying.
the corner to take a look.
There's just bullying going on here.
Just producing a radio show, guys.
That's right. I understand, Travis. Good for you.
Oh,
You had to know, though, that when you showed up for work, camera ready, that it might come up.
Camera ready.
I'm not like oblivious to that.
You are camera ready.
You're in a different room.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, people are... There's a hustle and bustle going on here. This is why movies are so expensive.
Right.
There's so many people involved. Everyone's got like a fucking radio on their hip and fucking doing things.
They're all saying, I wish you would just get out of there so we can start this movie.
Oh, jeez.
You want to take more phone calls?
Oh, look who's here.
Whoa, Kenny looking very sharp.
Yeah, Kenny, what are you doing?
Oh.
Kenny, you look good.
There's a rumor they changed the schedule. They might be wanting to do you guys a little earlier.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow. That means less radio for us.
Call time. Our call time is earlier. They bumped it up.
What time?
A lot of the crew here are big fans of the show. They're very excited.
Oh,
Cool. That's what E-Rock was counting on.
Chris, you got to use him. This kid's good.
Oh, yeah.
What time are they thinking?
0930.
0930. Nice.
I like it.
Eric calls the shots.
I just saw Rich Voss.
What happened?
Voss? Yeah. What are you doing here, Rich?
Hey, Rich. I thought this was a movie set I was working on.
What happened?
What are you doing
I
here?
thought this was the movie set I was working on.
Oh, it is.
In here?
This will be part of the...
Well, I'm doing things.
What are you?
What are you doing here?
I see you got some sides over there.
Oh, yeah.
What are you doing?
Well, I mean, I don't know if I'm allowed to say what I'm doing.
Are you an interviewer?
No. Please, acting me?
Wait, no, what?
Wait, what are you doing here?
I'm here tomorrow.
I don't know.
But I came early. I'm supposed to be with you guys tomorrow. But I came early.
I am so confused.
I see
this
sides
is like
in
seeing
your hand.
This is like seeing your teacher at a fucking beach or something.
Out of context.
Completely.
Huh?
I'm happy to see you, but why are you here today?
Maybe he's writing.
Are you part of the Chris Rock thing?
What? What's going on here with Chris Rock? Is there something going on?
What is he doing? We're talking about it.
Are you writing on this movie?
I'm booked to be on your show.
Tomorrow.
Are you fucking for real?
You just said tomorrow.
I can't even keep up with his own.
I can't keep up with my own.
Yeah. Obviously, you're involved in the Chris Rock movie. In what way, shape, or form? Are you writing?
Just doing some stuff, yeah.
Writing? Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
Very cool.
There's
And now Mark Maron's here.
Look at this. E-Rock's getting pissed. Every guy that walks in is one less chance of him being in the movie. E-Rock is very... Look, he dressed up. He thinks he's getting on camera.
E-Rock?
Yeah.
They don't have a wide lens.
Oh, no.
So you're helping out on the movie?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right, because that's what's going on around here today.
Was that Mark?
All right.
Yeah.
And you're on the show tomorrow. Our show.
Yeah, I'm on your show
Can you do
tomorrow.
our show today?
Huh? Well, no, I'm doing your show tomorrow because I'm at Mohegan Sun this week. That's why I'm doing your show tomorrow.
Nice. Got the plug in
and
there.
next week I'm in Hartford, but I'm doing this thing. Look how
Today.
good Norton looks. Thank you.
Yeah, he's
All
very
right.
slim.
So Rich Voss is here. Mark Maron is here.
Mark.
E-Rock in his
doing, man?
brand new shirt is here.
Good.
Oh, we didn't ask him if it's a brand new shirt just for today.
I bet it was.
He said it's not, but he's lying.
I'm just going to say it is.
Of course it is.
It is? All right. Why don't we do this proper? Let's take a break, and then we're going to continue with Mark Maron.
Nice.
All right? All right.
The Opie and Anthony Show on Sirius XM. The guys are back from the toilet.
And now, back to our show.
The Opie and Anthony Show.
Rich Voss. Rich Voss hanging around. We got Mark Maron joining the show. Mark Maron came in here and just entertained the hell out of us. And I'm like, Mark, you got to
Thanks.
you got to do some of this for the audience,
times.
too. My God.
I will.
We got a private show from Mark Maron. It was terrific.
Just talking about the podcast.
And flying and all.
Well, that was the thing. I was in Buffalo, and, Buffalo is an underrated city. It gets a bad rap. Yeah, no, I
lived there for 3 years.
You did not.
I lived there for 3 years. What are you talking about?
Doing radio?
Yes.
So what my feeling was...
I felt like I was in prison for 3 years.
But it seems like there was some trouble. And that there's some economic problems.
Some strife.
Yeah, but there's a charm to it. The people are beaten down. They're beaten down. They're very pleasant.
They're broken.
Yeah, they're broken and happy.
Yeah. If I was ever close to being an alcoholic, it was when I was in Buffalo for 3 years.
Well, that's how they make alcoholics. It's made in Buffalo.
Jägermeister shots that was like taking vitamins in that fucking city.
But I know I'm not in a good place where I'm driving around. Like, I rented a car because I want to go to see Niagara Falls.
Nice.
And I'm driving around, and this is how I know I'm not in a good place, because I'm like, I could live here.
Wow, really?
You could get a house for a nickel. I could probably make do up here. I could work out of my house.
Very inexpensive.
But the hotel I stayed at, it actually had the personality of a recovering heroin addict.
Yeah,
yeah. When you walk into a place and you're like, oh, this was bad. Something happened here.
Like the whole place has an evil vibe,
right?
to
Because
it.
they redid it, but there's some shit you can't cover up.
What hotel?
The Lafayette.
Wait, I think that's it looks like a house?
No, it's this huge, old, glorious place.
Oh, okay, never mind.
But it feels like there was a halfway house vibe and smell that you couldn't get out of there. Like, I just pictured walking down the hall to my room that at some point, some woman was running down this hallway saying, he's got a gun!
That's
and
Buffalo.
bunch of junkies were walking by going, oh, she's pissed again. Wonder what's going on. But
they got that one street that's kind of nice.
I thought it was nice.
Sort of near downtown where all the clubs are, a few restaurants that try to make a little scene down there.
You know, street's great in Buffalo, Route 90, because it takes you out of Buffalo.
You were there. You didn't like the city at all?
I like Buffalo. I like the fans, but it's like I couldn't live there. Everything looked like it was built in 1984 because of the weather damage it takes.
Everything has to be rebuilt.
Everything is
it's like Winnipeg. God hates it, just crushing it with weather.
And you weren't up there during the snowy season, which is
beautiful.
pretty much 9 months of the year.
It was beautiful weather.
Okay.
And we
love Buffalo. We love our fans up there.
No, they force you. I've never seen a town more committed and loyal to bar food as Buffalo is.
Yay! Thank you, Sydney.
What is that, smoothie?
Yeah. What's wrong, Sam?
Our intern, Sydney.
Nice.
Anthony thanked her. You didn't even bring him anything.
Well, I just thanked her for,
you know what? It's a new day around
here. She brought a little sunshine into the room is what she did.
You're a bummer.
That's what I'm saying.
You're a bummer. You got to change your attitude, Sam.
You just look at things on the surface. You don't appreciate the whole picture.
Yep. E-Rock's been here for, like, how long now? 9-10 years.
Oh, wow.
And he just got smashed for wearing a shirt with a collar on it. And all you have to do is walk in here and be a girl, and you get a yeah!
They're wonderful.
All right.
Girls?
Yeah.
Yeah, generally
exactly.
Yeah, Mark.
Generally speaking.
Yeah. So Buffalo is cool to you?
Yeah, no, I was into it. I went to see Niagara Falls. I rented a car. And when you drive to Niagara, maybe I was there with one wife, but I think I erased all the memories.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, they just gone. I have a vague recollection of wearing a poncho and getting wet, but that could have been anything.
The Maid in the Mist is something you got to do.
You do, right?
I loved it. And I don't like tourist shit.
But did you drive through Niagara? That is the saddest fucking town.
Wow.
Like, you literally drive through 4 blocks of this decimated, pathetic, hopeless town to where, it's a good setup for the falls, because either you're going to be like, thank God, or I'm going to jump the fuck in. So I get to the falls, and they're not disappointing. There's no way.
It's amazing.
Some sort of cynical, you got to be a cynical fuck to stand in front of Niagara Falls and go, I get it, just keeps coming. Right. What next?
It's pretty amazing.
But I got very...
Did you go in the tunnels and stuff?
I went on the boat.
Oh, you got to go in the tunnels where you're right under the falls, looking through the falls,
all right,
basically.
Next time.
All right, sorry.
But I went to... the weird thing is that when you go to a tourist attraction, you start hating people immediately. Just like they're there with their kids. They're horrible. There's 9 people. Like, how many tickets? You don't know how many kids you have? And I'm just... And I'm just hating them horribly. And then as you walk down, like, I'm filled with contempt as I'm getting on this boat. And then you get to the boat, and everybody gets this garbage bag blue poncho. So now everybody's wearing these fucking garbage bags. And I'll tell you, man, you're on a boat with 100 people wearing garbage bags. Hard to hate people because you all look ridiculous, right? So there's almost like a great equalizer. It's garbage bags.
Yeah.
And but I was amazed at it.
That's what the world needs. We just if we all walked around with garbage bags.
When there's a problem, put people in a garbage bag. Everybody look at yourself.
And everyone will calm the fuck down.
Right. But it was nice, and you take the garbage bag off, and you're right back to fuck these people. Yeah. But I did get stuck in Buffalo, and all I wanted to do was get home.
Yeah,
it was horrible because it was a nice day. I thought I had it made. I had to get home. I had the 400th podcast went up yesterday. My 400th. It's an anniversary.
Congratulations!
It's a big deal.
That is a lot of podcasts.
And I had Iggy Pop on. I'd already recorded the interview, which was kind of hilarious because I was nervous about that. I love that guy, and I didn't know if he was cognizant or whether he could talk or what he was about. And it was kind of weird because I'm waiting for him to come. One limo comes, it's a publicist, and she's got heels on. She gets out. I walk her into my garage. I'm like, can he talk? Is he all right? She's like, yeah, he loves talking. I'm like, fine. So then another limo pulls up, and Iggy's road manager gets out. His 7-foot girlfriend gets out, and he's about to get out. And I'm standing there. I'm like, hey, how you doing, Iggy? You need anything? You need anything? He goes, I need to refresh. And I'm like, I don't know what that means. Do you need coffee? Yeah, coffee, black. Great. Fine. I got that. Yeah, you need water? Water's good, but I need to refresh. And I'm like, okay. I'm not sure what that is. So we walk out to the back deck, and Iggy just starts he's standing there, and there's like these 4 people he brought with him, and he's like stretching on my deck, and he's like, this is nice. And he's almost doing like a weird dance. And then within 2 minutes, then within 2 minutes, the fucking shirt comes off. And I'm like, anyone else, that would be like, what is going on? But it's like, no, he's just getting into Iggy. So then we go in to the garage. I'm sitting there with a shirtless Iggy in my garage talking to him, and it didn't make any difference to me at all. There was a couple of points where he just started tweaking his nipple a little bit, and it was a little weird. Yeah. But I didn't bring it up. You know what I mean? I didn't know if he was trying to...
I understand that from both of your points of view, actually.
Wow, he's a strange guy.
No, but it was a great chat.
Yeah.
And
Why does he have to take his shirt off?
He loves it. He's an animal.
I don't think I've ever seen him with a shirt on.
No.
Yeah, he does take his shirt off a lot.
He's got to be like 70. Oh, and he's about 5 feet tall. He's like 5'2".
Is he a small guy?
Yeah, tremendous. Just like 7 foot tall, Asian, huge boobs.
Wow.
Yeah, he's doing fine.
Yeah.
But the panic was I needed to get back from Buffalo to L.A. and they canceled my flight, American, because it was a mechanical problem. And then you're sort of like, well, is there another flight? No, that's it. There's no more leaving from us.
You cannot leave.
Yeah, so then I rebook on Delta through American with my platinum status. I'm like, you don't fucking understand. I'm platinum. Take care of me. They rebook me on Delta through Detroit. It leaves in like 2 hours. I'm like, great. 10 minutes after they book me on Delta, through American, Delta calls me on the phone with an automated call that's saying that the one out of Buffalo is delayed 2 hours. The one out of Detroit's delayed 5. And I got to record. So now I'm fucked. So now I start thinking, like, I got my equipment with me if I need it. I'm like, I'll record in Detroit. Iggy's from Detroit. I'll just go out into the streets and do it there. Like, that's how I'm thinking. I don't give a shit. All I give a shit about is the podcast. And then finally, I bought a JetBlue ticket to New York. And then they're like, that's delayed till 7. I'm like, is it going to get out of here? And they're like, we don't fucking.
What is going on?
The weather was clear. And that's when I started hating Buffalo. I'm like, can't you get your shit together? Like, American Airlines doesn't give enough of a shit to fly a plane from Chicago an hour so I can get another plane out of that airport?
Oh, boy.
So I bought one at Delta, and this goes nowhere.
They're not
but
gonna do
anyway,
it
so I
just for
flew
you.
down here, and I recorded it in the fucking hotel room. But this is not the news.
Oh, so you never got back to L.A.?
No, I didn't.
Obviously.
And now I got to deal with, then I got to call the girl. Like, I'm not going to be back for another 3 days. She's like, it's all right. You're doing what you got to do. And then the next morning, it's like, I really miss you. Here's the news. I asked her to marry me.
Whoa!
Congratulations.
Whoa!
Yeah, It's weird when it's your third time. When people say congratulations, you're like, yeah, we'll see what happens. You know,
You've been with her for a while, though.
Yeah, I've been with her for like 3 years.
Yeah.
There was a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of pressure, a lot of holding up the finger with the no ring, and the waving of the finger. And, finally I did it. I took her out. I said, okay, we'll go look at rings. I don't want to buy you the wrong fucking ring. I can't live with that, because I know this girl. If I bought her the wrong ring, it would have been just a nightmare. She was not going to be happy with any ring.
Right.
So I take her to this jewelry store, and we're looking at, she shows me one that she likes. I'm like, all right, I get the idea. And I wasn't even sure when I was going to do it or if I was going to do it. But the next day I went and bought that fucking ring. And I thought, like, whether it happens or not, I'll take the hit if I have to sell this back. But I'm not going to give her a fucking ring that she doesn't want. So she's got me by the balls pretty hard.
I can't believe you're doing this.
I know.
Is this your third marriage?
I know.
How many times?
Yeah, it's third. All right, help me out. Wait, now let's talk about. Wait, what's that?
Wait, I'm trying to go back. I'm trying to go back in time. I think after 2, he said.
Oh,
we got tapes of
he
you.
Has
no, I probably
horrendous. He has horrendous marriage stories.
Yeah.
Yes.
Look, okay, all right.
What's different? What is? happening in your head?
I'm terrified of this one.
Yeah, I bet you are.
I think that's what's different. I'm terrified and I'm concerned.
Man. Yeah.
I don't think I know the difference between, the warmth of rage when it surrounds my heart and the warmth of love when it surrounds my heart.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, I know that when the warmth of rage surrounds my heart, I'm thinking like, fuck you. But when the warmth of love surrounds my heart, I'm afraid of that. So there's some mixture I have to find in the middle. But here's what happens. So I buy this ring, and I decide I'm going to give it to her on her birthday, which is 3 weeks away.
She knew it was coming, though.
Not really. I mean, it was a surprise to her. I don't think she really believed that I was going to do it. And I'm not, I don't know that I did either, but I knew I was going to give it on her birthday. But it was hilarious because I bought that ring, I put it in the drawer, and that ring just turned on this scrutiny. Like, I knew it was out there, and I knew I had it, and I was planning on doing it. So every minute of every fucking day, I was like, all right, this is it. This is what I'm going to do. I'm watching her eyes. I'm watching her mouth. I'm watching what she says. I'm watching how she walks. I'm like, I don't know, that's a weird thing, that walk. It just turned on this thing in my head where it's like, are you fucking sure you're going to do this?
You're never going to be sure.
Everything's under a microscope all of a sudden.
Right. And then her birthday comes, and I didn't know how I was going to do it. I thought, like, why not just put it, because it's her first time. She wants to be excited. I'm a jaded fuck. I want to try to make it good for her. So I didn't know how to give it to her. I knew I had to do something special because she was talking about, like, are you going to put it in a champagne glass? I don't know why all of a sudden I'm doing Dice's Girls. No, but she said, you're going to put it in a champagne glass at dinner? And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. I'm not going to do that because obviously you read that somewhere. So my thought was, why not just put it in the bed so she rolls over on it and goes, what's that?
Ow.
And then my friend Jonah said, well, then she might think you fuck someone else in your bed. Yeah, you asked me to marry as a cover.
Oh, shit.
But,
that's funny.
Yeah, so I decided, all right, I'm going to make her pancakes and work from there. And I said, I'm going to make you pancakes for your birthday. And I didn't even know if I had the shit for pancakes. It turns out I had the shit for pancakes. So I make pancakes, and I figure, all right, I'm going to put the ring right on top of the center pancake. Like that. But the problem was, she was in bed. I had put the ring in the bedroom to follow through with the rolling over on it plan. Okay. So now she's in bed. I make her these fucking pancakes, and I'm like, why don't you come out and eat your pancakes? She's like, I thought I was getting breakfast in bed. No, formal breakfast today, because I had to get the ring out of there.
Yeah.
So I force her out. I'm like, just come on, eat at the table like a person. So she comes out, and I run back into the room to grab the ring. I put it in the pocket of my robe, and I come back out, and she goes, why'd you run back to the room? And I don't know why I was caught off guard, but I swear to God, I said, I had to get something for my cock. That's what I said. I don't even know why I said that. But on some level, it's kind of true. It's 100%
true. Yeah.
So then I go into the kitchen, I stick that fucking ring right in the middle of the pancake, and I serve her the pancake. She starts crying. She's like, oh, my God. And I take it out of the pancake. I stick it on her finger. I go, will you marry me? She goes, ow, hot. It's hot. So I got to take the ring off because I burn her fucking finger with the ring. I don't know if that's a sign.
Yeah, that's
So I had to re-propose. I'm like, all right, let's do it again. Will you marry me? She's like, of course I will.
Wow.
And then immediately, I'm like, what'd I do in my head?
Oh. Is there a date or anything?
No, but I thought, I always think it's going to buy me a little time.
Fast track.
Amazing.
She's like, when do you want to talk about the thing? But she doesn't want to have a big thing, which is nice. But I know she wants to have a baby. And I'm telling you, man, there's a feeling in my heart here. There's a wall. There's a wall that I got to get through here. All right. Like I know, I'm very easily angered right now. I should be excited. I'm getting married, but I'm just fucking terrified. And some people are like, why are you doing it again? She's like 19, 20 years younger than me. And I'm like, in my mind, it's like, what else am I going to do? Just cycle through a bunch of middle-aged women? Am I going to, with the occasional younger one that thinks, I'm going to teach her something or resolve some issue she has? I'm just going to do that for the rest of my life till my charm wears off and my game is gone and I'm 65 jerking off by myself, napping. Is that what I want? With no one to leave my money
to? That sounds great. That actually sounds perfect.
You're not going to have to turn Anthony.
Oh my God.
But but the thing is I think it's all going to happen, and I have not had a child, and I'm terrified of it. And you had one recently?
I got two. Yeah, my youngest is 8 months old.
And you're my age, right?
More or less.
All right.
You might have a couple on me.
Okay,
You might have a few on me.
All right.
I got a 3-year-old too.
Yeah, so and I just hope because there's some part of me like with her where I'm like I'm still having issues with the girl, with the fiance. Where I'm like, I'm still saying to her, "Are you gonna clean up your room?" I mean, I say that to her.
Oh wow, yeah.
So now my concern is I'm gonna have a baby. I'm like, what do I got to clean up after both of you?
Yeah, you do.
You do, right?
Yeah.
But they snap out of it, right? They become mothers and they lock in. Am I right? Tell me I'm right.
Lock in.
Yeah, they become motherly.
Oh,
sure.
Boy.
But they do the thing, right? I'm not gonna.
What thing?
I don't know. Like
Which thing?
The thing with the baby.
They'll take care of the baby.
They will?
Yeah.
Very motherly.
You're going to have to get in there every once in a while, change the diaper or something.
No, I know I'm going to have to do almost everything, but you know, like if the kid doesn't like me, she'll, right?
Yeah, they'll gravitate toward the mom.
Fucking hell,
Bobby
man.
Kelly just had a baby, too.
He's my age, too, right? Isn't he? A little younger, probably?
No, he's probably a few. Bobby's like 42.
Did you always want to be a father?
No, I never thought about it.
You just never thought about it? No thoughts all these years? I always wanted to, but I was always with the wrong fucking people.
I'm a selfish fucking person, and I think I just learned how to care about some people in general. I think that, between the podcast and the humbling from the second wife and everything, it forced me to open my heart a bit. And, I really care about this girl. I never really felt that before. It's almost like I care about her in an unusual way. You know, like I'm concerned about, I'm running around like I have a hard time admitting this.
Oh, wow, you're in. You're in deep.
You run around what?
Yeah, just, like, you okay, baby? Do you want me to go get you some food?
It's called love. He's in love.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like she's
I'd say just fucking go with it.
She's not handicapped, and I'm treating her like, you don't want to leave the house? I'll go
you
get
want to
you
do things.
Oh, wow, you're in love, man.
It's one of those things that seems codependent, but it's actually love.
Right.
I don't know, Jim.
You're in a deep level of love. I say fuck it. Just go with it.
You got to get out now. Don't do it.
Oh, my God.
Just fucking have a kid and just go with it.
We already had the horrible fight, like days after
the engagement.
Yeah, it was horrendous.
Wow, really?
It was horrendous.
Usually that puts you in a nice fucking spot for a while.
Well, it was a good spot for a couple of days, but I took her.
Oh man, what happened?
I took her with me on a thing. I was doing these book events. And I wanted her to go because I thought it'd be nice. She hadn't really been to Washington D.C. Right, so it was D.C. and then New York and then Boston. So we get to D.C. and I don't know what it is about traveling, but we fucking ridiculous fights when we travel. But here we are in D.C., and I just want to show her around, because I've grown to really appreciate D.C. Whatever the hell goes on there is one thing, but the fucking museums and the monuments,
awesome.
You got to go check it out,
Absolutely.
Right? So I'm like, I'm going to show you, and I'm impressed. This is not like an age thing. I mean, she's 20 years younger than me, but it's not like, Washington's for old people. It's the fucking capital of the country. So we're walking around, and and she had mentioned that she saw some Smithsonian stuff in the museum movies, the night of the museum movies. She said, that one of them. Oh no, that one of them had the plane from Kitty Hawk. I'm like, we'll go to Air and Space. I've never been there.
Space. Great.
So we go there, and I'm walking around. I never knew what a fucking guy I am, but I'm not even a plane guy. But you go there, like, look at that jet.
Great jets.
It's a rocket.
Rockets, all kinds of great
stuff. My dick feels huge here. So we walk around there, and then we leave, and then I'm like, we got to go to the Museum of the American Indian because they have the best food. There's a food court at the Museum of the American Indian where they have like indigenous foods from all the tribes, and it's like all very interesting, and it's real good food, and it's known to be. And she's like, I'm probably not going to want to eat there. And I'm like, because she's like, I'm not hungry, Mom, and she's vegetarian, but they're going to have stuff for you. And she's like, I'm probably not, but we can go. So in my mind, I think, well, she's probably going to want to get something to eat, right? So this is as simple as it goes. This is simple.
No.
So we go to this place, and I'm like looking around, because I love looking at food. Like I can go just walk around and look at fucking food, and it's great. So we walk in, I'm like, oh my God, look at all this weird shit. There's squash, and there's like
maize.
Yeah, maize. So you can eat maize. It's vegetarian.
Right.
Have some maize.
Maize.
And then she's like, I'm like, I'm probably gonna get something. You want to get something? Got a lot of vegetarian stuff. She says, I told you I wasn't gonna want to eat here.
Oh.
And I was like, fuck it, I don't want to eat here either. And then the next thing I know, we're in front of the Museum of the American Indian, and she's storming off. She's like, I told you I didn't want to eat there. I'm like, don't fucking run away, like loud. Like people are starting to look. She's like, I'm not doing this. I'm not talking to you like this. I'm like what? Like what?
Oh,
you can't.
no.
I just wanted you to see Washington, and you're going to fucking do this?
Oh,
you're going to storm away? And like she's like running away because I'm the yelling guy now, and I'm trying to do it like, God, don't you fucking.
Yeah, but you're making a scene.
A little bit. There wasn't a lot of people there, but she's making it too. It's not all on me.
Right.
I'm not going to take that. But I did not have to say, I'm fucking done with this. Give me the fucking ring.
No.
I did.
You said
After
that.
like 2 days or
Maybe a week.
A week?
Because when this happened, they both thought, is this what it's going to be forever?
Right.
This fucking asshole dragging me around to shitty Indian places,
Right.
and you're going, I can't even fucking take her for some culture?
Right. It was horrible. I did a horrible thing. I did a horrible thing. She's like, oh, fuck you. And she gives it to me. And then she storms off. And I storm off. And now we're walking on opposite
She call you
sides.
Indian giver? That would have been like ironic. Right out in front of the place.
Fuck yeah. I wish I'd thought of that.
That would have been a good one. Maybe
That's what
break the
I
tension.
So now we're walking on opposite sides of the mall in Washington. She's, crying over on her side. I'm walking on mine, knowing I did this shitty thing, and that now I just made it unstable, and I did the worst thing I could possibly do. And I'm like, but fuck it. She didn't want to eat there, So I'm just storming down the mall, and I'm sort of pacing her. I'm watching her walk away
On the other side, yeah.
And then she texts me. She's like, "I love you. What are we doing?"
Oh.
And then I'm like, "I love you too. I'll meet you in front of the Capitol." So we met in front of the Capitol. I put the ring back on her finger and asked her to marry me again. So I did that 3 times. In a week with the same ring.
In a week.
Yeah.
So what did you wind up eating?
Holy shit, is that great?
What did you wind up eating?
Oh fuck! What did we? We went. She wanted to go see the dinosaur bones, and then she wanted Chipotle. So that's
what's that?
Chipotle.
Yes.
When was the last time you looked at dinosaurs? It's not nothing.
I love dinosaurs.
like a month ago.
I
Really?
love
In New York,
Because
yeah.
you got kids.
dinosaurs.
But it's amazing.
One in my yard.
Yes. Do you?
Yeah, I got one of those like
Yeah, we'll show you.
5.5 foot velociraptors.
Oh, you do really?
And I put it by my jacuzzi.
Really?
Yeah, it's like
So you
coming
really
in the.
love dinosaurs?
I love
No,
dinosaurs.
he loves children. Children love dinosaurs.
Got to get the kids into the jacuzzi.
It's terrible.
Dinosaur bones
There it
rule.
is.
There you go. There's his dinosaur.
Oh, that's great.
My little dinosaur.
I just keep when you
Well, the
look
jacuzzi's
at him,
great.
you're like, holy fuck! And this was millions and millions of years ago. It's hard. It's a weird moment of like you're very impressed, but you're also like, oh, we're doomed. I mean,
it's sad.
If these fucking things die for whatever reason,
Just to imagine
it's gonna
that
come
they
out of nowhere.
that they were actually there at some point. They actually lived
it's
and
crazy.
walked around. It's like that's a monster. That's a real life monster.
Yeah.
And it was walking the earth.
I just hate they put the dates on. I'm like, oh, really? This
That
is
long
like
ago?
80 billion years ago?
But also, when you see the ones that were in the ocean, that's why I don't go in the
Right.
ocean. Because in my
man.
mind, a couple of them have to be out
You
there.
think?
still there.
Yeah, they've got to be out
and
there.
they're like as big as this building,
Yeah,
like
and they're out
fucking
there.
Right.
giant teeth.
Big, that scares the shit out of me.
Monsters under the water.
Yeah,
we don't know.
I can't even go into a pool at night.
We don't know at night.
Yeah, if I can't see the bottom.
Fucking creepy
I
down
don't know
there.
what got in the pool.
You don't know what's in there when you go in the ocean. It's like you look
Horrendous.
down. It's got
Horrendous.
this weird. You could see a little bit down here, but I'm not going to show you much. The ocean does not tip its hand. You fucking in there. It's all based on faith.
And the light is what? Only 200 feet, I think?
Yeah,
After that,
fucking-
it's just complete fucking darkness.
Oh, it's horrible. It's a horrible feeling. Those people that can just jump off boats and swim around, I
my
can't.
God.
Talked about it. We took a lot of boats across Lake Erie, and
Even in a lake, right?
We would stop in the middle, and the tunes are cranking, and we go for a swim, and we would take our showers because it's fresh water.
Yeah.
And when you dive off that boat, you're like, "What the fuck is staring right back at me?" I was
Right.
petrified. I'm
Yeah.
not even going to make believe. And then I would swim around the boat, just keep the boat nice and close.
Yeah.
I'm a real fucking wimp.
If you looked at where you were and how big you were, if you
Compared
drained
to-
all the
oh,
water
God, yeah.
and just put you in midair where the water would be, you're like hovering over mountain ranges.
Sure.
And all kinds of goodies are down there.
Horrendous.
Right.
Horrendous.
Big monsters. You're a speck.
But if you close your eyes, it's all good.
Yeah, I mean, you
Keep your eyes closed when you jump in.
Right, the odds are with you probably in a lake.
Because I don't want to open that eye and see some
Yeah.
blurry shit coming at me.
But in a lake, what's the worst it could be? A giant catfish. Right?
I don't know. I think they got.
Well, there's no sharks in the lake. There's no dragons.
They got some shit.
Have you seen what's that show on TV? The River Monsters. Yeah.
River Monsters is a great show.
River monsters.
With the zombie kids eating your feet.
Oh, God.
What is that? It's windshield wipers hitting you in the toes.
Nibbling on you.
You see the alligator turtle thing?
No.
It looks like it's fucking
In
a
the river
dinosaur.
monster?
Yeah.
I'm
I don't know
telling
the
you.
name of it anymore, but
Yeah. They're
It's
out there.
fucking-
What about the
it's
guys we talk about from time to time on our show? The guys that go noodling. Would you do that?
I don't know what noodling is.
You've never heard of noodling?
I thought it was a guitar term.
They
you can noodle
I noodle on
around.
my
They
guitar.
go in these swamps and these riverbeds.
Yeah.
And they go for the cat. Is it catfish they're going for?
Catfish, yeah. It's all kinds of.
And they
it's
put their
mostly catfish.
arm in these fucking holes, and the catfish bites them all the way up.
They pull it out?
Halfway up their forearm. That's how they catch these things. Can you imagine fucking doing that?
I don't like when my foot hits something at the beach that feels a little like it's not a rock or a shell or something. You're like, I don't know what that is. I can't get away from it fast enough.
Yeah. And you don't
I'm
know
trying
if it's
to
just
run.
part of a larger thing.
Right.
Like
Right.
you just, oh, that's just the
Yes.
eyelid of
Yeah.
something that's the side of a car.
Yeah, you don't want to. Oh, it's fucking creepy. Something brushes against your leg, which was probably like seaweed or something. But to me, it's a giant monster.
I just wear crunchy shoes now. Just crunch everything. I don't give a
Do ya?
fuck. Yeah,
I think it's a good idea to wear those.
I like those scuba booties that zip
all that.
up on the
Tivas
side.
or whatever.
Yeah, why the fuck would you go out there?
It makes you feel
barefoot now?
safer, even though it's the same
you don't hurt-
danger.
I don't want to step on. I used to be petrified of. I didn't even know where they are, where they're fucking indigenous to. I stepping on a rockfish because I heard
come
like
on.
rockfish has those
Yeah,
spines,
yeah, right
and they
into you.
put poison in you, and
Yeah.
you're pretty much dead.
Yeah.
I'd be at the beach just going, I'm gonna step on a rockfish.
Really?
Yeah, I always thought I was stepping on a rockfish.
Or
as
even
a kid.
fucking jellyfish, man. I
They
mean,
hurt.
Yes.
I never got
They
bit
suck.
by one of those.
Never?
Those are terrible.
Oh, they fucking suck when you get stung.
Or barracudas, or
That-
more eels,
And then
whatever, all of it.
Long
all
Island,
of
we
it.
had horseshoe crabs too.
They're not going to hurt you, though.
I know, but as a kid, it's that big spiny thing, and your friends tell you they fucking stab you with
It's
it.
terrifying looking.
It is.
But they're very slow.
Oh yeah.
But maybe in the water.
In
I
the
don't
water,
know.
you're very slow. Try, yeah. And that's just another thing. Like you could be king shit on dry land.
Yeah.
You're fucking top of the food chain and everything. You drop quite a few levels as far as the food chain
In
goes
the water,
once you're in that water.
You're a bouillon cube.
Yes.
You should go diving. And you'll realize that, first of all, it's almost impossible to see a fucking fish. I don't even know where the fuck
I did
they all
snorkel.
are.
I snorkel.
And if you do see a fish, you realize they fucking run away. They swim
Yeah, they're
away from
scared.
you immediately. They're scared shitless of
But
us.
I went snorkeling in Kauai, and I like doing it.
Right.
But when you get the snorkel going, you get out on the reef, and then you see that drop off at the edge of the reef.
Cool,
and,
right?
and then, it's cool, but still, like, I can't stop from seeing something coming out of that darkness.
You look out there and you're like,
that's just a mouth.
It's never ending.
Yeah. Yeah.
And something could just come right at me.
Right at
and
me.
what am I going to do?
And it's always huge.
Yes.
Right.
Giant.
Like, it's something like that you've never seen before. Like, you've imagined it.
You'd be looking, go, what is that something move? And then before you know it, it's like, oh my God, it's a giant monster coming for me.
A monster.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like the whole island just lifts up.
You think it's a tiny fish, and then it's the big reveal where it's as big as a fucking
giant.
Yeah, the tiny fish is just on some sort
And
of
he's just
weird
doing
line.
that thing coming at you. Back and forth,
yeah.
swimming, and you're like, I can't fucking outrun this.
Just bubbles.
Yeah. You just Just fucking petrified, screaming underwater.
Just cloud of blood.
Yeah.
Cloud of blood.
Watching your own blood rise up around you. That's terrible.
Half of you starts bobbing.
Oh, just
Your
horrible.
girlfriend's like waving.
What do you
There's no
die
bottom.
from first? Like the loss of blood for being bitten in half, or do you drown, or what the? It just seems
Either
like
way, it's
something
only a
I
few
don't
seconds
want.
for you to think about it.
I would gather, right?
I can't breathe and I'm half gone.
No.
Mark, you've been busy. Holy shit.
I'm doing like I'm here because I'm doing panel on Letterman for the first time ever on Wednesday.
Congratulations on that.
Yeah, it's been a lot of things where you spend your, like, I've done stand up on there a few times over the 25 years, but not a lot.
Are you nervous doing panel?
Well, I know how to do it, but it's Dave, and he's like my guy.
Yeah.
And I've been watching him since day one when I was in college, and as a comic, you're sort of like, when he moved, and he only took a few panel guys with him as far as stand up. So I thought in my mind, well, that's over. I'm never going to do panel with him.
Right.
Like, and now it's happening, and I feel like, all right, so I can quit. Like, I think like there's part of me that feels like that was some great goal achieved. I mean, hopefully I don't get bumped or something, but yeah, I'm nervous because I want to, I mean, he's the best, so I don't think I'm going to flounder.
You won't get bumped for a panel.
I don't think so. But I'm just trying to figure out what things to do because I want to do well, and because I don't get nervous, but I know I'm going to be sitting there. Like I did Jay Leno for the first time ever, and I don't really watch Jay, but when I was pushing the book and pushing the show, I'm like, yeah, well, why not do it? And it was kind of interesting because he came into the dressing room before I went on. for like a half hour.
Yeah,
and
we
talk
had
to me.
we had that. We couldn't believe it. Me and Ann talked about it after the fact, going, "Don't you have a show to prepare for?" He's hanging out, having a good old time. I'm like, "Holy fuck! When does he get ready?"
Yeah, he's there, standing there in his denim shirt.
Yes, we had the same experience. It's bizarre. Talking cars, and he was talking about shock jocks and radio and just whatever.
Oh, yeah, I love that. I love the radio. Yeah. But he came backstage. He's like, "Yeah, I didn't think you'd do this. I didn't think you'd do my show. I thought you'd like it."
The Tonight Show.
Right,
Yeah, sure.
I didn't think you like. Well, he thought I was in Conan camp, or what?
Okay.
Like he thought I was part of. On some level, I never sought to do it because I just didn't watch it.
Right.
And it was not, and whatever. I didn't. I was not doing it on principle.
Right.
That was the truth. But then, when all of a sudden you have an opportunity, I'm pushing the book and I got the show and I'm going to do panel and I have to do stand up. I'm like, why not? It's still the Tonight Show, and I have that moment, the feeling. Well, it don't matter who the host is, where you see people on TV, and then when you're sitting there right next to them and the cameras are on,
oh man,
it's like you think you're just talking to somebody, but you're not.
It's crazy.
Yeah, everything is heightened, and it's happening in the moment, and you're like, oh my God, he's right there. And with Dave, I have to hide that shit because you can't sit there and go, oh my God, you're right there.
That would be a great way to open. Actually, oh my God, you're right here,
you're right there.
That would be funny.
I see this on television.
Yeah, I saw you on the thing.
This is crazy.
Yeah, but I do have that feeling.
The weirdest thing. You're right, because you're sitting there looking at the face.
Yeah.
And words are coming out of your mouth. You're talking.
Right.
But you're thinking like, holy shit, am I doing this?
Exactly.
Like, this is what I've watched. Are people watching this and seeing me like I saw other people sitting there? And then you're just like, this is the most oddest fucking thing
I
ever.
get so nervous that I relax. It's almost like I'm so doomed to fail. I feel like somebody who's about to be executed and has resigned himself to the fact that my brains are going to be splattered, and that helps sometimes.
Well, yeah, when you get so anxious or nervous about something, and you just go into a weird paralysis, like you just hit this peak, and you're like, ugh, you're locked in,
accepting your fate.
But it happens with Conan too, where I'm sitting there looking at him because I don't know what you expect them to do. Because they're doing that every night.
Right,
it's like
you
guys do this every day.
Right.
So, but you're like, I've never talked to this guy before. So you're there with all this juice, and he's like, and you're like, are we talking? It's like, and then you realize that he fucking does this every night.
Right.
This is his audience. There's a camera there.
He sees it all the time.
It's not Mark Maron night. It's not the Mark Maron show for a night. I'm just a guy passing through.
Yeah.
It's hard for them to get juiced when I'm sitting there too. It's like because Tom Cruise is here tomorrow in this seat. What do I expect out of this guy? I'm lucky he's not spitting on me.
The most important moment right then and there. It's so important to you. And then them, it's like Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly.
Who are you on with? Do you know?
I don't. Can we look it up?
Yeah, I always like to check.
No, Wednesday. But it was a pretty good experience. But that's true, man. Because you get done and you're like, huh? And then it's just people cleaning up. And it's like another day. No, it was my day.
That was my day. It's very big for me.
Can you step aside? We got to put the band's got to go in. We got to put the band.
Because they're looking at your segment the same way, with the same weight they looked at the monologue.
Yeah, don't matter.
And segment 2. Like, okay, Maron's segment was good, but segment 3 it's just one of 5 segments for Tuesday.
Exactly.
To you, it's your life.
You got Jamie Foxx.
Oh, okay.
Backstreet Boys.
Backstreet Boys top 10.
Yeah, they'll be there for the top 10.
All right, then you got the Mark Maron.
I'm on after Jamie.
Mm-hmm. And then what's the last thing?
Wale.
Huh?
Wale.
Who's that?
He's a performer. He's like a rapper.
Oh, it's okay. All right, going to pull in a new audience.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Cuts out of your demo a little bit. But
do you know Jamie?
I'm
sure he knows you.
The only experience I had with Jamie is I saw him in the Ambassador Lounge at an airport, and I think in Austin, and he looked hungover and tired, and I made the choice not to bother him. But I stared at him for a while.
Good one.
Yeah. No, so I don't know him at all.
Yeah, I've never met him either.
He used to be a funny guy.
Yeah.
But he's a very talented man, that guy.
Comics don't usually, I was doing Leno panel. It was my second, I have only done it a couple of times panel, and I was supposed to be Jenna Fisher, but she canceled.
Yeah.
And they called day of, and they say, look, it's going to be Bill Maher. And I'm like, fuck, another comic, because at the time it was McCain. It was during the 2008.
So he was loaded up for Bear, that guy.
But I'm like, fuck, man, and because they knew the topics I was going to discuss, and they're like, well, he's going to hit on McCain and he's going to hit on Obama.
Right.
So I'm like, what the fuck? I have to restructure this. But he was so good, man. Like sitting next to him, you don't know what a guy's going to be like.
He's a pro.
But he was really supportive. Like, he wasn't a dick trying to outdo you. He was having fun with it. Like, comics are usually good to each other, as long as there's no fucking prior hatred there.
Right.
So I'm sure Jamie will be fine.
No, he's an actor now. I mean, he's also very funny, but I mean, he seems to be at some other level.
Yeah.
You know, I wonder when the last time he did comedy really was.
Been a while.
I think it's probably been a while.
Long time.
Yeah. I'm just happy if I'm on the show with somebody who I know who they are, one, and that I have some respect for. It's great.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I got to go back to the lake thing for you because you said nothing could hurt you in the lake.
Okay.
I forgot. I forgot for a second. My brother's a marine biologist, and he just
wrote. Forgot that?
I did forget that for a second. He just texted me. He said, "I think it's pronounced muskellunge will take your arm off in a lake."
A muskellunge?
So I just want
to.
I want to Google image muskellunge.
Let's get that up there.
M-U-S-K-E-L. That should be the muscle part, and then lunge, L-U-N-G-E.
There's Dice.
Is that a replay?
I don't know.
What's he
in
on?
New York?
I think it's a replay.
I think they're on vacation.
Yeah, I think they're on vacation. All right, Google image this. This thing will take your arm off in a lake. There you go.
Yeah, fucking Dice in his sunglasses and knickers.
Yeah.
Right. And I have
He looks good, though. He looks thin.
He looks good, yeah.
Yeah, that's gotta be.
There. Oh, God.
There you go.
That's a monster.
Looks like a barracuda mixed.
Wow, look at them
with
teeth.
A big
like
thank you to my brother.
Sturgeon.
Holy.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't need to know that's in a lake.
It's a troutacuda.
Yeah.
A troutacuda.
Yeah.
I didn't need to know this.
Yeah,
I kind of felt like lakes were kind of a safe haven.
And he said that could take your arm off?
No problem, he said.
No problem.
No problem. Look at the teeth on the fucking
those are
thing.
some big teeth.
Let me see that thing, though.
Look at that guy. He looks like this just ate my child.
He does look disturbed.
Yeah,
He
he's
looks
gonna
very
dump
scared.
the Kinder boy out all over the dock.
That'll take your arm off. Muskellunge, I hope I'm
Just a
pronouncing it right.
license
I don't
plate.
know if,
How do you spell it?
M-U-S-K-E-L-L-U-N-G-E. Did that from my brain, by the way. Just now.
Well, I got a text from my fiance.
Aww.
Just woke up on the couch. Miss you so much.
Aww.
She always falls asleep on the couch. She doesn't like to go into bed without me.
Wow,
I'm in
you
trouble.
got it. You
Yeah.
got it bad.
Have you had it this bad?
I did years ago.
That's gone now. That's all over.
I did years ago.
I'm actually, I feel more affection for the actual couch than I do for people I've dated recently.
See, the sad thing is like I never knew this part of me. I got to be honest with you.
Wow,
Really?
so this is new.
But I'm not sure it's a good thing. Like the last two wives, I destroyed and drained.
Right.
You know, like I really didn't know the difference between what I wanted and what they wanted. You know, like for me, like I was just a selfish, angry fuck.
Sure.
And I think there's something that I'm trying to make up for here by overcompensating to the point where I might as well be wearing a fucking apron all the time.
Did you now have you worked through all that? Like you were married, obviously, and there were problems because of well, it can't just be one-sided. I'm sure her, but also yourself. You seem to have been dealing with a lot of issues and anger and stuff. Have you changed? Are you a different person as far as those?
Look, yeah, because like the thing is like you would think not because of the Washington thing, but that doesn't happen much.
The Washington thing,
like the
Washington
day in Washington,
incident.
Yes.
the Washington incident. But no, we're going to counseling. Like I've learned that for me. Like I think like date 3 or 4 should be couples counseling.
Wow.
So, yeah, right in. No, but no, we started going because I couldn't wrap my brain around having a baby, so we started to go for that. Here's the weirdest thing though, man. So my buddy, who's a therapist, he recommends his therapist for us to go to couples counseling to work through stuff, right? So I go to this guy, and we both go, and it's a good start. And he says, my wife is also a therapist, and we can see you together. Like, if you want, he said that Jessica, my fiance, could see his wife and I could see him, and then we could all meet together.
That's weird.
But it makes sense. But it is fucking weird.
Yeah.
You're sort of like, when we all meet together, it's sort of like a dinner party where there's no food and I'm losing money.
You're paying the tab.
But there's this weird, but
what's going to be a secret, though? Like, what if you say something to him in confidence and then all of a sudden it comes out with the 4 of you? Like,
well, you sign a weird thing. Like, there's definitely a team thing, because every time we go, you know, especially if we meet with both of them, you know, she's already made him the enemy. So, but I think that's kind of the genius of it. Like, you know, it's like he doesn't get me at all. And I'm like, oh, really? I don't know. I think I told him some stuff. So, but I don't know what they talk about, you know, together. Like, I'd like to think we leave and they sit there and go, all right, here's the angle.
Right.
But I don't fucking know. But I'm not, you know, yeah, there's some things I have to assume.
What do you have to sign that's weird?
Well, you got to say that they can talk about you guys.
Oh, okay.
Like, you know, that it's a collective thing. Like,
So
they're
you
going
keep-
to
oh,
discuss.
it's not breaking doctor-patient confidentiality.
Right,
Okay.
right, with the two of them.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, so you guys leave, forget about it. They're probably like, they
they're
are
yapping.
doomed. They are fucking doomed.
Yeah, but that's what I
There's
think.
a huge problem there. Oh, you think he's bad? Wait till you find out what the fuck she's on. Oh, yeah. They do this. They probably talk about it while they're fucking, and like, it's the only way they could get off is like discussing other couples' misery.
Well, there was one point where, like, you know, like she was talking and I was starting to steam, man.
Oh,
and
shit.
And like, you know, you got to let them talk. And I'm like, oh, that's fucking ridiculous.
That's bullshit.
And then, like, literally, you know, I don't remember who was guiding the question, but the wife and the therapist couple, she goes, this isn't going well. And I'm like, oh, you mean you don't have a plan? Someone's got to have a plan, because I'm about to fucking leave.
Shit.
So, you know, I didn't leave.
Yeah.
But like, okay, so, but the anger thing is better. You know, we're not,
Right.
we're not doing that.
You're not in
Things
that
are better.
angry place.
The ex-wife thing is done. You know, I wrote the book. There's stuff in there. You know, that book, like, for me, was a purging. Like, my father's not talking to me. The ex-wife-
wow.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, I think I threw him under the bus a little.
What'd you say about him that he objected to?
Everything.
Oh, really? Okay.
Well, yeah, because, like, well, you know, like, I was doing shows and stuff. Like, my father has never paid attention. I don't even think he fucking listened to the podcast, and he's been on 3 of them.
Oh, shit.
Like, I didn't tell him he was on, but who cares?
Right.
So, but the thing is that when he started to get wind that the IFC show had a character in there based on him, who was a bipolar kind of guy, but it was Judd Hirsch. I mean, arguably a better father. So,
Yeah.
You know, but he got wind of it. Like and then I start getting these emails. Like I told him, I said, you know, there's a couple episodes with the dad character, but I went easy, and you know, I'm not. You know, he was concerned that I would reveal certain things that I wouldn't do it. But, you know, I don't think, you know, the bipolar thing is, you know, it's not a big secret. I mean, like my friend Mark Spitz says, it's like diabetes. Everyone's fucking bipolar.
Right.
Shit, right?
Plus, it's also a fictional / real character.
Right.
Yeah.
There was a lot of fiction to it, but so he got wind of that, and he started getting nervous, right? So about a week before the show goes on, I get this call. He's like, "So what'd you do? I mean, you know, what'd you say on the show?" I was like, "It's gonna be fine." He goes, "What channel's it on?" And I go, "It's on IFC." He goes, "No one gets that, right? I don't get that." But not even thinking it was an insult. He was like, "Oh, I'll be all right because no one will see it." So then, like, the commercials start running. I get an email. He's like, you know, a lawyer friend saw the commercial. And, you know, I'm not going to go that route. But I'm just saying that, you know, maybe he wanted to negotiate something.
Right.
Your dad?
Yeah. He said, I might sue you, right? Basically. But then it got all crazy. He was just freaking out because he's crazy. He's a megalomaniacal guy. So he thought, you know, it was all about him. And then all of a sudden, he started paying more attention to me in that week than he ever had in my entire life. He had a Google search on me. He was like sending me emails going, you know, I just read the thing from 1997. Very interesting. Like
oh, wow.
Because he felt like, you know, like I gotta see how he's gonna take me on. So he watched and did everything.
Is he self-centered?
Yeah, he's self-centered. He's bipolar, and you know, he's completely narcissistic. And I think I think he just saw me as a limb, you know, like a limb that got away. Like that's my other hand.
Wait, can I stop you for a second? What kind of relationship did you guys have? What kind of father was he? Just give us the basics here.
Well,
when you were growing up,
he was a guy that was very self-involved. He was a doctor, so you know he was always out. You know, but you know when he was around, everything sort of revolved around whatever thing he was doing, whether it was rage or whether it was, you know, hey, let's go skiing. It's very weird when you have a manic depressive father because you know when they plan it, they're excited, but the vacation might be sad.
Wow.
Yeah, we're going to Yosemite, and then like weeks later you're in Yosemite. Like, I don't want to live. Sounded like a good idea.
Oh my god!
But
that'd be a horrible vacation.
I knew there was a reason why I liked you.
But you got that too?
I got a mom.
Oh,
very
with the
similar.
bipolar?
Very similar shit.
Yeah, it's weird.
She's got OCD and other things going on. I don't know, but it's always about her. Always,
right. So
always.
Now I wrote this book, and like I'm reading it.
See, I want to write a book, but I'm waiting for the day
that she dies.
Yeah,
you should just write it, and then she dies. You have a final chapter.
Well, no, I think that maybe you can kill her while she's alive. Emotionally.
She's aware enough that she knows that, there will be some kind of book eventually.
Yeah.
Me and Aunt still got to write a book, and I want to write a separate book, but she's aware, but she's sort of hinted like, could you maybe wait till,
but I know
after I'm not around anymore?
Yeah. I know that I feel bad because I'm not talking to him. Like, he's not talking to me. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you didn't really.
Oh.
How much older is he than you?
It's just a few years.
Oh, just basic?
He's like, what is he? He's like 75, maybe?
So, you're relatively young now.
But in my mind, I went easy on him. But it was still pretty gnarly because it's hard when you write memoir stuff. It's like, this is my life. There are other people involved in it. How much are you going to...
What was the story that got him?
I don't even know if he read it. He talked to my brother, and he claims that he didn't read it. He hasn't watched the show or anything else. But, I put one of his crazy emails in there. And, I told this story about, about his father's funeral that I was at, and it's something he did. And just, I think I feel a little guilty, but, I feel good about it. Because there's part of me that thinks, like, this had to happen. Now he knows I'm a separate person. And now he knows that, maybe, I got to call him. Let's do it on the air. I got to call the guy. It's just because, when you do something, there's part of me that thinks, like, when you do something and you realize, like, oh, fuck, there's no putting that back.
Right.
Sure. Yeah, that's done.
Does your brain ever slow down? I know we've asked you over the years.
Yeah, it does.
Because there's always something going on in your head. How do you get it to slow down and just like fucking chill?
Yeah, just lock in on porn. Sometimes.
Porn.
And it shuts down everything else that's going on.
Kind of.
Because you're a brilliant comic, and one of the reasons you really are, and one of the reasons you always got shit going on in your head.
Yeah, but it's always about me, and sometimes I think that's draining. Recently I've hit this wall where I'm doing the podcast, I'm doing my stand-up. I'm like, I gotta start watching television or something. I'm tapped out. I don't know how much crisis I can generate. I was on stage in Buffalo, and I had this moment where I'm like, I am so sick of hearing about myself. I can't fucking take it anymore. Yeah. And I said that to the audience. I started a bit, and I'm like, I can't do this. And they're looking at me, and most of them are my people, and I'm like, I don't know what we're gonna do right now. And they're like, what the fuck is happening? And for like 45 seconds, I'm like, just wait this out. Just wait it out.
That's awesome. I would have loved to see that.
And they're just like,
they're just sitting there.
Nice.
But luckily, now, enough people are familiar with me where they're like, yeah, he does this sometimes. But like, I was like, all right. And then I locked into talking about the buffalo wings or something, but I'm just tired of it.
There are times where I envy Seinfeld. Like, it must be so nice because you obsess over yourself, or I obsess over myself. Right. It must be so nice to just look at everything else and find them interesting.
Right. Like I used to do politics, I used to do everything, and at some point I'm like, none of that matters because I'm the problem. So let's talk about me as if I'm a country. Right. And now I'm getting to that point where I'm like exhausted. It's exhausting.
It's very exhausting to always have to find new things to not only talk about, but find the twist in and make funny and make interesting.
Right.
It's a very tough thing to do.
Wow. I got to start looking at other stuff like the Kardashian problem.
Once in a while, something else is interesting, and it's hard.
I'm out of the dialogue. I literally am so consumed on Twitter with fucking my shame parade on Twitter. Engaging. You do it too, but I mean you seem to have more fortitude with it. But I don't get I don't think I got the news about Paula Deen until I saw your fucking Twitter feed. I'm like, well, did something happen? And I have to go over there and get caught up. Like I'm that detached.
Yeah, you need to plug
I gotta
in
watch the news
a little bit.
What do you think of Paula Deen? What do you think of that whole situation?
Well, she's a little ignorant and very insensitive.
But it's something she did 30 years ago, man.
No, I mean it's going to take a long time for
and it wasn't
people,
even that bad what she did.
For people like her to culturally sort of grow up. I don't think that she hates black people. I don't think that she's a racist. I just think she comes from a different time.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's what I think on her.
I can't get enough of the tightrope guy.
Oh, that guy.
Who's going to be on our show tomorrow, by the way? Nick Wallenda will be in studio.
Yeah, he'll be in here
tomorrow.
You
see the Grand Canyon
walk? Put a piece of tape across and then clap while he walks.
Wow.
Yeah, apparently Jesus did it.
Yeah.
Right?
You saw it, right?
I did.
That was amazing to watch.
It's fascinating.
Jesus Lord. I don't know how the fuck they do it.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus.
But the sad thing about something like that is that if he did fall off, people have been like, well,
it'd be a better show. Yeah,
it's like, what do you think was going to happen?
Imagine if his mantra.
That's what we were all half waiting for.
Right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, completely. But his mantra is Jesus, I love you, thank you for the win. Imagine if his mantra was eat a bag of shit, fuck your mother's cunt, you piece of garbage, die of AIDS, die of AIDS.
You're halfway there.
It was all my inner dialogue.
That's pretty amazing shit, though. But New York City shut him down. We're not going to deal with his crap.
I
He's not tight-roping.
Well, I think Bloomberg's sort of like in New York in general is like, do we need to have problems we don't need to have?
Right.
Yeah.
There's enough shit going on. Do we have to have like clutter the streets?
Yeah, we don't have to import problems. Like from the
guy who did
outside.
it between the towers, he did that
Philippe
completely.
Yeah, he just
1974.
But that was in the days before, like
security.
You go up with your fucking equipment, and
it's like no one stopped him. He was bringing
set up a line.
He was bringing a whole tightrope into the Twin Towers. No one stopped him. No arrow. They started with an arrow, and then whatever. I saw the documentary. It was wonderful.
That's
no
crazy.
What city would do the tightrope thing would be Buffalo. Bringing it back around.
If you could find a building that
Buffalo
high.
is begging for Nick.
Why did he do the falls?
Well, they did the falls.
Oh, they did?
He did the falls, but they forced him to wear a safety wire.
Oh, I love the
falls. And it was on ABC.
But I'm telling you, I think Buffalo, I had Ted's hot dogs, excellent.
Can I tell you something?
What?
Go back to Niagara Falls in the winter when the whole thing's frozen.
Is that great?
Holy fuck.
It's really all frozen?
The whole thing freezes.
So no boat, you just walk out there? Can you walk on the water?
Well, not the whole thing, but I mean the falls itself is frozen. The water's still coming down behind it, obviously.
Yeah.
The outer shell is
It's a rush, man. It's a rush.
Did you go right to the side?
Yeah. Yeah, we were on the boat.
No, I'm up top where you see the water and right at that fucking corner.
Right, I have to fight the urge to jump.
Yes.
Isn't that weird?
Up with that?
Well, you don't have that? If I'm on a high building,
you think about it. You're like, I think most people have that.
Right, no,
you don't, but you think like
I really. The sad thing about me is, I think if I were hanging off a building, that like in my mind would be like it's easier to let go.
Wow, like to climb back up,
right?
And
Then they're like, oh, because then it's just there's some part of me that's like just let go.
It's funny. That's the exact opposite reaction I have for everything in my life that's in turmoil, and that's the proper reaction. Just let go. The only time you think of it is on a building.
Oh, Mark, man, that podcast is terrific. By the way,
yes,
you're still going strong.
Oh, it's
400 episodes. Good for you.
The Iggy Pop thing's pretty good. Cheech and Chong on Thursday.
Yeah, you tell me a little bit about that behind the scenes here. It was nice to hear.
I got to tell you something. This fucking movie industry is crazy.
Bad? Is crazy mean bad?
Yeah. It's amazing that because you hear it's like, oh, this film cost, it had a budget of $50 million, $100 million. And then you look. These people have been standing around milling about the hallways for hours. And any time I've been on a movie set, it's the same thing. It's a lot of people, more people than it really seems like they need.
Yeah.
Milling about for hours.
Hi, Kenny.
Yeah, to shoot for 2 seconds.
Yes.
Usually. Yeah, it's crazy.
Kenny?
They told a funny story about when Jim did his fight scene with Dominic.
Yes.
Yeah, how your pants kept falling down and they were seeing your height.
Yeah, I told him I had
What
to sign
show
it.
was that?
That was on Bored to Death when Lombardozzi and I did that. We kidnapped Jason Schwartzman.
You got the same crew here? They remember it from that?
One of the guys was on.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And I had to sign a nudity waiver.
Yeah.
The camera,
they're all like local New York people, and
the camera guy worked on Sling Blade.
Did he really?
He filmed. He was the camera guy for Sling Blade.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I was talking to him outside.
It's cool.
He said during the
we have Carl on the board.
Get the fuck out! Get the fuck! During that scene, he was looking at him, at the cameraman, and he came over later. Dwight Yoakam, and said like, I just needed someone to look at.
Wow,
that's pretty cool.
And the kid, he was pretty young back then. It was 3 or something like that. And he was like, why is he yelling at me?
We got to wrap you, right?
Yeah, we got to take a break.
Come in and shut up.
Yeah, they're gonna.
Are we?
Why don't we
is that
big
today?
plugs?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, we're throwing
we might
out.
be done today. We're not sure.
We don't know because they might have to set up.
Okay.
We have no idea, but just get the plug in just in case.
Oh, the plug is the last 2 shows of my IFC show, Marin, are going to be on this Friday. The book Attempting Normal is available.
Are you happy with book sales?
Yeah, everything's going pretty good. You know, it's not.
Are people still buying books?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
I think
digitally downloading
yeah,
it.
It's going well. You know,
Good.
people are liking the book. The people that the exciting thing about the book and the show is that like there's a lot of people like I didn't know who the fuck you were. Like this, you get in this bubble. You think like, how could people not know who I am?
Hey, come on.
And then you're like, why would they know who I am?
Right.
But so that it's all going good. Yeah, everything's fine.
for you,
In
Mark.
terms of I'll be on Letterman on Wednesday. So thanks
Very
for having
cool.
me.
Absolutely.
I've been watching the
I
roller
like
coaster for a long time with you.
You're fucking blessed.
Thanks.
We love you, brother.
I have one plug.
Yes.
Jimmy.
Antisocial. The first show sold out. It's myself, Amy Schumer, Artie Lang, and Dave Attell. July 20th in the Sands Casino in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Second show is on sale and selling very well. So if you want to just go get tickets off Ticketmaster.
Okay,
It's going to be a lot of fun, laughs, good times.
Good times.
Look at the little guy.
I got to piss
All
desperately.
right.
We might be back. We don't know.
Yeah, we're not
we don't know
sure.
what the hell's
Yeah.
going on with this this big Chris Rock thing today. But
What are people supposed to do? I don't know. They might come back.
That's a good tease,
They'll
right?
stick around or don't.
they're like we don't. They're like
We don't.
whatever. We don't give a
Whatever.
fuck. All right.
We got.
The Opie and Anthony Show will return in a moment. After all, millionaires have to piss too.
And now back to
The Opie and Anthony Show on Sirius XM.
Ooh, look at us.
We're back live.
Yeah, we're back on there. Doesn't sound like my level is up as high as it was with a monitor or something. Is the main monitor up a little bit more? Yeah, I don't know. I can't. That doesn't.
We
do
have some
anything.
downtime, and it just,
Yeah. Okay, a little more. That's good. Thank you. Thank you.
We may only be on for a few minutes. We don't know because we're just waiting for Chris is shooting in another place, and
yes,
we just I get fucking very antsy, and it's like
An update.
What? Oh,
hi
Rich
boss.
Voss?
What's the update, Rich? Opie, he's getting.
Went to get some coffee.
Yeah.
Update on what?
So they're going from there to the lobby. Do we know?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And then let me tell you something. That other DJ, I don't want to say names because he's really good.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's really good.
From OutKill?
And you guys are natural actors because I've seen you guys in stuff before. Now that I'm in that type of the business,
Sure,
on
you
the
are.
other
What are you
side.
even doing here?
Absolutely.
Are you loitering?
Yeah, no. It's called being a gaffer.
So I'm trying to pull some strings.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Please.
Feel free, if you're pulling a string, feel free to put one around your neck and then kick
Yes.
out the chair.
Fucking Rich. I can't believe Rich is walking around here like he's part of this movie.
It fucking bugs me. Rich should
You
be
are.
standing here. I did the thing for the thing Bonnie's doing.
What thing?
The thing.
All right, listen. So
What are you talking about?
her interview.
Her interview?
What is that?
What are you talking about?
It's for her fucking the documentary about chicks.
Yeah, but what do you do? What thing did you do?
I did an interview for it.
You did?
Shut up.
We found a salesman.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Cool.
So here's the thing. I mean, it's so hard to work on a movie. Like, I got to balance the movie
with your lack of ability.
The movie and Saturday at Mohegan Sun. It's so hard to balance
right.
everything.
Uh-huh. Absolutely, sure.
Friday at Marissa's, and or next week at Hartford Funny Bone. So what I'm trying to do is balance everything. I had to cancel therapy this morning.
Oh,
I had
man.
to cancel yesterday doctor appointment.
Canceling therapy is not going to hurt. Really, it's going nowhere.
Okay, and I also had to cancel my one-on-one at the Apple store because
What do you got going on there?
I bought a new MacBook Pro.
Oh,
and for $100 you get unlimited one-on-one sessions for a year.
Oh my God!
Oh, so what are you just
or if you have a friend, you could just call them.
Yeah. Well, you're going to sit down and teach me editing? Okay, I can't even get you to text me.
What you
back.
got? Final
Okay,
Cut Pro?
You fucking asshole.
You got Final Cut? Is that what you're working on?
Not yet. I'm going to build to Final Cut.
Yes.
So there's so much going on. The old Voss is listen to me.
What?
I'm a new guy. I got
Really?
a lot of, yeah.
He's in the same ancient body then.
That's what
Exactly. Unfortunately, the new brain hasn't showed up yet.
This show is so falling apart. During the show, you lose part of your cast. That's not happening out here in the movie. The cast is here. You know what I mean?
No, I don't.
We don't know what you're talking about.
I just saw a camera go by. I guess they're taking it to the lobby.
We don't know what they're doing, so we didn't want to, like, Hope wanted to get some coffee. And I just don't. I crash after the show. Like, I literally I lose all information, like all motivation. I want to be talking up until we can stop talking, and then relax a bit, and then come right back in and talk.
So you crash twice in a day.
What are you saying, Rich? I don't do well there.
Crash after the show.
I do. I fucking lose my energy.
Shut up.
I do.
Please. You have the energy of Helena.
Who's Helena?
The girl with no arms and legs from the movie.
Don't go for the smart references.
Oh, wow.
Just say you have the energy of a leaf.
Damn.
What? Helena was a good reference.
It wasn't.
You know what I bet we will never hear? Rich Voss, come quick, we need you.
Yeah. You're close up, Mr. Voss.
You guys can make fucking jokes, but you have no idea.
Yeah, unfortunately, you can't.
Here's another thing. I don't like you motherfuckers jumping on the goddamn podcast bandwagon all of a sudden.
What do you mean?
Oh, yeah. In the top 5 every week. Like what?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You know,
we get some subscribers, huh?
Yeah, holy shit. Is it you guys doing it, or is this the best of your show?
It's fucking stupid. It's a bunch of old shit. I don't know why people even subscribe.
It's old stuff.
Good way to sell it.
That's a good way to sell it. No, it's the stuff we just don't really play on here anymore. We do little intros. Oh, are they calling you, Rich?
No, I just got really bored.
Exactly. He walked
No,
out.
they're not calling him. That's the problem. He's been offset for a while and no one has noticed. So he's going to fucking meander back and go, hey, guys, I'm still here.
Hi, guys.
Nothing proves your lack of value than when they move to a new set and don't tell you.
Don't tell you and don't notice.
Coffee, Mr. Rock?
Yeah, how many times have you walked back to where the cameras were and they're gone and you got to go find them? That's not a man who's needed on set. You don't even have a headset.
Yeah,
you do.
Oh,
okay,
there you go.
do.
Oh, great.
You don't even have a chin.
Does it have a microphone? It doesn't have a microphone?
No.
No, it's not. It's to hear what's going on.
Oh,
Exactly.
Well,
So
he's not the guy that's actually saying things.
It's like when somebody brings their kid to work.
You have no idea.
No, it's like when the director brings his child, they sit him up and they put a little
Yes,
headset.
exactly.
And his little feet can swing and he can watch the fucking monitor.
I see people walking around and they're talking to other
here's the
people.
problem
Very
with you
important.
guys.
What?
Out of all the years I've come in here, done nothing but good radio. Instead of it's tearing down, it should be built. Hey, that's great. You're working on this fucking movie.
Well, you won't tell us what you're doing.
You won't even tell us what you're doing in the movie.
I'd love to see that you're in the movie.
I got to ask if I'm allowed to tell what I'm doing. You know, sometimes, it just, it's
Okay.
not, it's like a Woody Allen thing. Woody Allen doesn't want people to know what's going on.
These pretzels are making me thirsty.
You know
like
what I'm
Woody
saying?
Allen. What? Yeah, I know what you're saying.
But what I'm saying is, how about one day, when I come in tomorrow, if I can squeeze it in, let's do pro Rich Voss, not negative.
Yes.
You know, like pro, like pretend I'm Colin.
Well,
what? With talent. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, Voss and Bobby. This is Rich Voss. I'm not DeRosa.
Hey.
You know, you fucked. You know, you're done fucking with him. And now we got new guys to fuck with. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
You know, I built up some seniority around here. You know what I'm saying?
All right, Rich.
So a little respect, maybe.
A little respect. I deserve respect.
Yeah, exactly.
I do you guys an arm.
Send Rich Voss to the airport. I was stepped over. It's because you're short.
Are you meeting fucking Wrangler Jane later? Oh, nothing.
Why? That was a great.
Wow.
Wow.
F-troop
All right, Chip.
reference.
See ya. Oh, is that what that
Yeah,
was? All right,
go.
that wasn't that bad.
Fucking Rich. I don't know. He's probably writing stuff.
I don't know what
he's written
doing.
stuff for
But it was
Chris
cute
before.
to see him standing up here on the chair. But the reason I wanted to come back, besides the fact I don't want to stagnate, is fucking Ant blew me away.
Oh.
Blew me away.
Yeah, I did. I was good at it. He came in my mouth, everything.
Absolutely. And I wanted to get blown at home,
Yeah.
too.
That's isolated.
Yes. But the TWA 800 movie is a documentary on Epix. It's coming out, July
17th, I want to guess.
17th or something?
The anniversary?
27th, something with a 7.
Yeah.
But I saw the preview copy that we have. Oh, boy, we had the whole movie. So Jim watched it, and he said, wow, this really makes you think that something else happened besides this main fuel tank explosion because of a mechanical failure. And I'm like, yeah, I've heard that before, but blah, blah, blah. Boy, this really did a good job of presenting another side of what happened or what might have happened. There's a lot of iffy fucking areas they enter there. Seems a lot of the witnesses saw at least 1, 2, if not 3 missiles come from the water, come up, and hit the plane, or at least explode near the plane, which then rolled over and crashed into the water. And now all this evidence was being manipulated by certain people because the FBI and CIA were involved in the investigation. I guess because they thought it might have been terrorism at first.
Sure.
A lot of weird things with evidence going to other places to be tested when it didn't need to, and disappearing. People that were experts that were just blown off. Testimony from witnesses that was ignored.
Yeah.
And for what reason? Like, I was trying to think, all right, why would they do this? If it's terrorism from another country, you would think they would want that out there.
Especially after all this time, sure.
Right. If it was an accident, a military, U.S. military accident launching missiles from a naval ship, perhaps, that would be so hard to cover up.
Really hard to cover up.
I mean, think about it. I'm not talking the guys that are commanders or something. There's some fucking sailor in his bunk as they're shooting off a missile on one of these ships. You know a missile's going off.
Yeah.
So then he sees in the news that a plane was down. He hears all this scuttlebutt about a crash. He's not going to tell his girlfriend or his family or something.
The whole ship would know.
It's just there's too many people that would know. Again, the downfall of every conspiracy. Too many people would know. Not enough people would keep their fucking mouths shut.
Yep.
So how does this fit in? How is this some type of missile attack, and how are they able to keep it so quiet?
My guess is shoulder launched by 1 or 2 people, and maybe the reason they kept it quiet is because they don't want people who do it to see how possible and easy it was to do.
Well, then, why the fuck wasn't it done again?
Because they may have caught the guys who did it quickly. Or they may have been able to shut. But, you know, most of the public might not know that it's that easy to do.
You would think if terrorists launched some Stinger missiles at this thing, they would be like, this is the greatest thing. We just got to go out on a fucking rowboat off of the coast where there's an airport and shoot these things down. You'd think in all these years, what is it, 15 years or whatever it is?
No, 20.
Longer than that, 20 years. That they would have tried it again. Someone would have.
I know.
Just I like the way they went through the facts and the testimony from these guys and the witnesses and everything. But the one thing missing is a motive for a cover-up. And who did this and what happened? So
yeah, I mean, they may not have those answers, and I kind of like the fact that they didn't pretend they did have those answers. They don't know exactly what it was. But, you know, the fact that a lot of these people who are towing the company line would not come on and be interviewed. I get the president, the vice president, but you know, guys like Kellerman from the FBI and all these other guys that would not be interviewed for this. It's like, why? Why wouldn't you? If the public is so concerned about it.
That was a pretty amazing part of the movie. It was right at the end where they just list all the people that wouldn't be interviewed for this. And pretty important people as far as the investigation goes. And you would think they would want to know and be involved in any investigation that might bring the truth out. But they weren't talking.
And that shitty CIA animation of the nose falling off.
Yeah, now I bought that until I saw this fucking documentary yesterday. I bought that scenario. And then as you're watching it in this documentary, you feel stupid for thinking that's what happened. It's odd. They do describe it like a 747. The main fuel tank blows up. The fucking nose comes off. You'd think with the speed, and now it's like a fucking pipe going through the air, it would just rip it apart. Like, and then it proceeds to climb
4,000 more feet.
No one saw the plane climbing. Everyone just saw a fireball coming down. The witness testimony is amazing because it's so consistent from one to another. And they have no reason to lie.
So there's no motive to lie.
So that was an odd part. The hush-hush on part of the FBI and CIA, that's kind of the way they operate with everything. So you can't take every bit of secrecy in there and think it's something sinister.
Terrible, right.
But the things they didn't do is pretty compelling. Not interviewing, not actually taking into consideration what the witnesses said, Another thing that was huge is the fact that the medical examiner and some of the crash forensics people weren't able to draw any conclusions in their report. They were told to just report it, just write it down, hand over what you have to the FBI, and then their analysts will analyze all the evidence that you've gotten. And none of them said that ever happened like that. They would get the evidence and then come up with a conclusion based on what they had found and said, this is what I believe happened. They were told, no, don't do that. Just fucking give us your findings, and we'll draw a conclusion.
We'll draw the conclusion. And these are NTSB people who are involved. Right. These are not fucking
It's their job
lunatics.
is plane crashes.
Yeah, it's what they do.
When a plane crashes, they fucking investigate it. They've been doing it for decades. And then they were told, no, you're not in this one. We'll handle it.
Well, that one piece that went to NASA and got tested, there was something found on the wing, a certain pattern that had to happen at a certain time.
Before the wing came apart.
Before it came apart. And then the guy's like, why didn't you put this in the report? Or why didn't and the guy who was kind of defending the official line, he's like, I don't know why I didn't he had no answer for it. It was like, that's a big piece of fucking information. Why wouldn't you say that?
Yep.
Oh, look at perfect again.
Oh,
thank you,
Jackie.
I wanted Starbucks, but I didn't specify that. Thank you.
You're not blaming her for that?
How is she? Was she a mind reader?
Come on.
She's just a young lady doing her job.
Yeah, what are you doing? And at least she's doing her job. You're just sitting there.
That's my job.
Yeah,
you never get Dunkin' Donuts.
Fucking lumping around.
Lumping around.
I've been getting Starbucks for like 10 years.
Exactly. That's why I love Jackie, because she says Jim might like something different, and she mixes it up for me.
Exactly.
Jim has never liked anything different.
No, he's very straight.
Oh,
that's why. She brings me out of my shell.
She is a joy.
Yeah?
A joy.
What a delight
to have around
the way
this building.
Breezes in here and she changes us all.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, I just wonder.
Delight.
There seems to be direct favoritism.
No, not at all. Anybody that can take me out of my
lady.
comfort zone really challenges me.
You like that?
Love it.
Me.
Oh.
Really challenges me.
So, I'm glad you felt that way, because I was like, fuck, man, because I was like, I don't know what it was, but I'm like, this is really hard to say that something was not shot up, because all of these people are not, and you don't need a crazy, like, 9/11 conspiracy theorist. You need all these. There's nobody I really respect that was involved in the investigation saying this shit.
Right.
These are people who, and in '93, the internet was nothing like it is now, so information wasn't thrown around. There's no footage of it.
Yeah, unfortunately for this film, because I went into it like
a doubting
fuck
Thomas.
You. Yes, I was a doubting Thomas. I went into it like, fuck this. All right, I'll put it on and, see what it's about. And, man, it did. It did just grab me. I was like, okay, there's something to this. But unfortunately, because of things like loose change and these fucking mental patients that just deny the evidence that's right in front of them, I think this might get lumped into that, and people might think that before they see it and be like, oh, fuck you.
It's difficult to be a conspiracy theorist for one theory.
Right, yes.
It's hard to say. No, I think for the most part, everything is as it's reported, except this one.
But that makes sense, though, because that's how it is.
That's more logical.
You don't need to say every conspiracy is right.
And this is like instantly credible to me, because Anthony is the last one that's ever gonna.
I don't like that it wasn't credible when I said it, but but I do understand that, since I'm the one that kind of brought it up.
Jim's got another one of his theories.
I bought the company line on this one, where this.
I did too,
and it was the CIA's version of what happened,
the animation,
which is so odd. Like, what the fuck is the CIA doing poking around in a civilian aviation crash that was deemed not terrorism, not a crime in that sense? And they're the ones making up the animation and all these, not so much subliminal, because that sounds like this weird kind of, we're trying to brainwash you, but there were certain key phrases and graphics that were put up, like when they would say not a missile, and just reiterate that over and over again, in a way kind of like telling you, hey, don't even consider the missile aspect of this. It's not.
They found
They
found the explosive material on the inside of the plane, on certain chairs where it would have been. And their explanation for that was that they had been doing a bomb sniffing drill a week earlier or whatever, but then when they really get into it, they're like, they don't list the plane, they just say a plane, and they say the bomb sniffing drill, if it was this plane that they did it on, would have had to end 15 minutes before takeoff. Which is just not the way it works.
Which, of course, the crew needs just about, give or take an hour prep time. And it didn't work out time-wise. They would have had to left with the explosive and the dog and everything within 15 minutes of when the plane had to leave, which is impossible. So that didn't work out. And again, when you got the CIA and FBI involved in something like this, they can say and change anything really.
They want. But aren't you worried now that you're like, okay, they lied to me about this. Maybe they lied to me about that.
No. There's no footage. I don't have footage that I can watch over and over again.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And Bill Burr are going to be the best of friends now.
I know, right? The fucking bankers, dude. That's who fucking did it. You know that, eh?
I don't understand how you can, just because Jim likes this documentary, you can give this documentary so much credence, but you can't explain the Pentagon.
Yeah, it was. It's obviously a missile that went into the Pentagon. Yeah, all that shit. When they just discount the
same missile, actually,
that there are fuselage pieces from an American airline plane on the fucking lawn.
Yeah, but those are just pieces of something.
I'm just asking questions. We don't really know what happened.
Oh, yeah? How come they didn't find any engine pieces? They did. Here's the fucking... Here's part of the engine. Here's the fucking blades. The turbine blades.
Something. You don't know.
No, here's the answer for that. Oh, come on, dude.
Yeah, come on.
Exactly.
And
that is the answer.
They just say, like, nah, nothing happened.
Right. Plus, there's radar of this of the stuff blowing off. Oh, fuck! They're fucking Diaz brothers. Give them the keys to the fucking plane. This is the and there was the radar debris that they show that blew off at a certain speed
at Mach 4.
I think the difference on this one is you're like, okay, this is making me question the explanation,
right?
And I don't have any evidence that explains this.
Right.
Whereas with all like the 9/11 stuff, you give them, okay, here's exactly what explains this, or the logical part is now easier to believe than the conspiracy theory part. But those theorists are just going, no, I don't know.
Yeah, the 9/11 stuff. It's like you have to take such a leap to go from we had Arab terrorists. Well-financed, long planning went into this, that hijacked planes and flew them into various buildings, killing a lot of people and destroying buildings. That's one scenario. The other one is that for years, an explosives crew was working around in operating buildings with walls and everything, wiring it for a fucking planned controlled demolition with secretaries and fucking financiers.
Also, there's a plane full of people on their way to Washington, D.C., they're just on Lost Island somewhere.
Right, they put them on the Lost Island.
Yeah.
Because that, and you're supposed to now throw away the easy explanation, the logical one, the one that doesn't have one thing in it that really doesn't make sense, and accept this amazing story of conspiracy
fake phone calls,
fake phone calls, and something that a James Bond movie wouldn't attempt. And now the Flight 800 thing doesn't present you with this bizarre, unbelievable scenario that could have happened and a simple one. They're both equally as viable, and with the evidence and then lack of evidence, you do steer closer to the one with the missile than you do the exploding center fuel tank.
A couple of guys with Stinger missiles, whatever the shoulder launch ones are, and the reason for keeping it quiet is because if you show that works, A, it panics the public in a horrendous way.
Mm-hmm.
And baby, by the way, that's how you get, maybe people say, how do you get the airline industry to sign off on that, a lie, and say that it's an explosion when it's really a Stinger missile? Because the point to the airline industry may be, what will happen if this comes out that it was a missile is airline business will plunge beyond repair. An explosion, people know is an ultra rare event, but if you all of a sudden fucking announce publicly that Stinger missiles can take down airlines, you're going to lose 40% of your business.
No matter how rare a missile being fired at a commuter airplane is, the fact that it's a possibility would make people stop flying.
And maintenance can't fix that.
Right.
Maintenance can fix whatever this problem was. People understood intuitively the 747s are older planes. It never happened before. All right, this is a fluke. A missile in this day and age? Fuck. That's amazing. So maybe that's why people say why the airline industry signed on. That could be a motive for the airline industry to have taken the hit and said, okay, we're taking this evil instead of this horrible evil.
But now the airline industry, who is that now has to be in collusion with the FBI and CIA? Who's the person? Did they even talk to anybody?
Maybe somebody at Boeing.
Yeah, Boeing has to, somebody at Boeing has to go, look, I could be sacrificing this entire company right now if this gets out and they figure that I and Boeing as a company was involved in this kind of conspiracy against American people. You're talking a company ruining problem there.
But again, it's never said. You know, maybe it's done much. So maybe the FBI and CIA. What do you think that Boeing can talk to them if the NTSB can't? They may say this is our conclusions. You know, there's ways to say things without implicating yourselves. And I know this is conspiracy shit, but that does make sense to me as to what the motive would be of the airline industry for not fighting it completely or demanding public. They may not have been said, hey, look, guys, this is what it is. But they may have said, well, let's hope it's not a Stinger missile because that's going to cost the airline industry 40% of your revenue in the next 10 years.
You know, another odd thing, you would think, all right, they want a cover-up story. They go with the center fuel tank exploding story. Why then don't they just go the whole route and come up with the conclusion? It was an inconclusive ignition source. They said the center fuel tank exploded, but they never really had a conclusion as to what ignited it. Now, what's the reasoning for them not having the end game, the story, like it was a short circuit on this fucking wire that blew that? They were like, yeah, the center fuel tank ignited, but we have no evidence of anything. We're not sure. Sorry.
Because if it's vague, it's harder to disprove. Like, there was a guy that said...
very good,
There was one guy who said, well, in order for that to ignite, you would need this many amps, and there's nothing with that many amps in the center fuel. Like, there are people that know... So if you put it on, hey, look, it's wire 72. To me and you, that's like, well, that's the game. But to people in that industry, they're like, no, cunt face.
Right, okay.
Wire 72 eats a bag of dicks and could never have done. There's too many people that
little element of deniability in there.
Yes. Well, we think it was, and that's good enough for the public.
Wow.
But you give 100% specific, and somebody can absolutely go, no,
you're lying.
Your smoking gun is a lie.
Wow, very good. Because that's a part that got me too. It's like they made this whole story, but left out the part that lit the whole thing.
Sure, and they had to admit that they didn't know that.
Yeah.
They had to admit that.
The final hearing there, they finally went. Yeah, they said we don't know. Sorry.
And this is all. And again, it could have just been a couple of handhelds, or I mean, I'm not saying the government did it. Because don't forget, they've gone after Stinger missiles and people selling them after that hardcore.
Yeah,
they may have just kept that stuff a little quieter for the reasons that they couldn't keep 9/11 quiet.
You'd think they would have been very petrified that it would happen again. It would be obvious that it this time was a missile that took down a plane, and now you have to explain what happened to the 747 because the similarities are so similar that they now can't use that center tank, and then you find out that they did nothing to defend the people against the Stinger missiles. Now you're opening yourself up for a lot more damage than just saying, oh my God, people, Stinger missile.
Yeah, you are, but again...
It's a gamble.
There's also, and I know that they showed exactly how that hard rudder snapped in the American Airlines flight in November of 2001. But under the same logic... How do you get the airline industry to implicate themselves instead of a terrorist? Let's just say that was the first shoe bomb. Let's say that was some kind of an onboard device after 9/11. The airline industry may have said a mechanical failure in this case is much less damaging than realizing we've been targeted again and got hit again. They may have looked at, all right, X amount of lawsuits for this compared to $6 billion in lost revenue.
Right.
Because people will just start taking the fucking train, or they'll start flying JetBlue, which doesn't have an American. Who knows what the thinking is? But that's to me how you get a big business to fucking sign on to taking a bit of a hit.
But you would think somebody in that conference room would eventually.
But it may never be. It may never be said like that. It may never be in a conference room. It literally may be the one or two people that need to make that decision at the airline or at Boeing where you say this is, it could be this or it could be that, where you're basically telling them something, but you're not telling them.
I understand what you mean, but there is this just faith that you have that no one's going to talk, and then the conclusion that they don't. Like, that to me is the most amazing part of any conspiracy. It's so hard to keep your fucking yap shut about anything.
The government can't stop whistleblowers.
Yeah,
Obviously.
exactly.
You know?
Well, they have a few people, but they've kept some stuff quiet. Like, you're right, but there are things that when there's only a few people that know, and they're in that line of work, they can keep. People in the FBI and the CIA, there's a million things they've never talked about.
Yeah,
the whistleblowers make it look like nothing's safe, but there's enough shit that they've kept quiet when only the right people know. I mean, look at how long fucking certain people have gotten away with certain things. And then you're like, oh my, like Bernie Madoff, look at how long he pulled off what he pulled off.
Yeah.
Until the market started shitting the bed, but no one blew the whistle on him. Even though he was, you know what I mean? He fucking had to tell his sons, blow the whistle on me so you're not implicated.
Such a conspiracies are the facts and everything. It could all add up, but that human element is the weak link in the chain. It's
and that's what drives you crazy, because you get all wrapped up in them, and you're like, okay, yeah, that works, and then you find the one little thing, and the whole theory is
it just blows up.
You have to be willing to let that happen too, and that's where conspiracy theorists lose me. Is the one piece of legit evidence they don't go with, or the one piece of nonsense in their theory they don't just discount. They become married to the agenda. All those people saying they saw something shooting up at that plane, every one of them could not have a mass hallucination.
Yeah, that was the most compelling part of the documentary, if you ask me, is that the witnesses saying that they saw something coming up at the plane. And it wasn't a fiery color. It was bright white, they were saying, almost a silvery, that you would get out of a rocket engine, coming up, not at a certain point in the sky. It was coming up from the fucking ground, from the horizon, from the level of that. So it wasn't in the sky. It wasn't another plane. It wasn't the other plane giving an illusion because it's flying toward you that it's going up a little bit. How do you just throw that out as an investigator? It just, to me, seems like that's a very important part of the fucking...
And it was a 4-year investigation. So I think that if there's any type of a cover-up or any type of I think it's with very few people and with plausible deniability. And again, in this one, because they never said this is exactly what it is, they haven't left themselves a smoking gun.
And what about, I'm reading some of the questions down here, taking credit. Why hasn't anyone taken credit for this? You get a terrorist organization that got its hands on Stinger fucking missiles and shot down one of the biggest planes that fly, full of Americans, and French, I know that. Why wouldn't you be fucking tooting your horn like, look what we did?
Take credit and try to do it again.
Yeah, and we're gonna, it's scary. I mean, terrorism works on the act and the fear that it makes. If they said, and we have more, and we're gonna do it again, you ruin the airline industry.
You can't allow a cover-up.
No.
Maybe maybe it was an offshoot group, and maybe they rounded up who was responsible relatively quickly. Or maybe they were Americans. Maybe they were Americans who were not doing it for foreign terror. Who the fuck knows? Maybe somebody on that flight was targeted. But then again, you wouldn't know which plane that was. That's probably bullshit.
Yeah, it's just, it seems to me that the people that are keeping quiet would talk, and the people that would talk are keeping quiet. It doesn't, on a human level, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, to be honest, that's a good question about why wouldn't they take credit.
Didn't you say, unless it was some weird coincidental, government testing thing that accidentally blah, blah.
No, I think they would admit to that.
You think we would admit to that if we did that by mistake?
Somebody would admit to it, and I don't think the airline industry would sign off on that. I don't think the airline industry...
because they'd know it's your fault, not our fault. Yeah, you're going to get blamed on this.
And that won't hurt our business.
Right.
A government mistake, that never happens. People would still fly.
Right.
But a fucking Stinger missile would shut down business.
Yeah, I just wonder what the purpose of it was, if that's what it was.
Yeah. Like, who
Why
would do
would you
that?
just do
Why
it?
wouldn't you take credit if you were doing it
Was it
on
any kind of
purpose?
revenge? When did the U.S. shoot down that Iranian plane by mistake? There was an Iranian passenger. We looked it up. Said there was an Iranian passenger plane shot down by the United States over the ocean, and they shot. It was a horrifying death. They shot one of the wings off, and then another missile went up.
Whoops.
And as it fell, people on the ship are going, "Oh my God, that's a passenger plane."
Yeah.
That was 88.
88.
Yeah.
So 5 years earlier.
No, wasn't the TWA 93?
93.
What ship was that? The Carl
What's that?
Vincent? Which?
But still, you'd think that they'd...
Yeah, someone would take credit.
They'd
Like,
say,
you don't just
"Ah,
do
you-"
that and then keep it quiet.
Right.
Who knows how many people it was though? What if
Like,
it was a
like
small
they just killed 10 people on a mountain in Pakistan and immediately took credit for it.
It's also easier to get stuff out now than it is.
That's true.
20 years ago. Now it's much easier to get out your information than it was. Al Jazeera didn't exist 20 years ago, I don't think. And you know what I mean? It was a little bit of a slower trigger pull to an action to when everybody knew about it. There was still a lapse in time.
You think there's like an admission tape stuck in the mail somewhere?
Oh man, right?
It got sent to the wrong person.
To the bottom of
Jesus
CNN's mail
Christ.
bin. We never opened this.
Yeah, someone named
this?
Alfred Akbar. Throw it out.
What the hell could this be?
Again, this is all who knows, but I think it was a little harder to get immediate information out. And the FBI and CIA, who knows? They may have already had information that this type of thing was happening, and they may have already been looking at certain people, and then it just got snuck under their radar and happened. Who the fuck knows what was going on?
The speculation that goes into something like this, I mean, it's never ending.
But none of
That's
that
just
stuff
it.
is that crazy.
No, the actual facts and the interviews and everything isn't that crazy. It's the speculation that has to be put in to support some of it, and that's where it gets crazy. You know? All right, missile. You don't just fucking come up with missiles. They have to come from somewhere.
Sure.
You know, these things, and there's a paper trail, information trail, a money trail as to what's going on. You know, where this came from. That it would seem like somebody could get a hold of it.
You seem like
now.
you could trace a missile. At
Yeah,
least to some extent.
Something. You know?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, maybe they did.
Maybe.
Or at least there is a lost missile. I guess that must be it.
That could be our lost missile.
That's the one we lost. God damn it.
And there's no reason for them to come out now and say it. It's dead. The official explanation, it's done.
Well,
maybe they shut down whatever pipeline they had to, you know, whatever was happening with that. Who knows? I mean, again, if all those people didn't see it, I wouldn't think this.
You do need a motive to not give the American people the correct answer to it.
Because they just can't come out and go, we lied. They just won't do that.
Well, now it's really fucked up. I mean,
right. Someone may now.
Now you'd be like, yeah, we lied. What? It would fuck.
Yeah. Right. So now you gotta get the heat for it actually happening. And for lying about it. That's double punishment.
Well,
But you have
certainly
double
is.
punishment. but you have enough people talking about it who are legitimate, who were involved in the investigation.
Yeah.
So it's really hard just to write off.
And so many people have said, well, experts have said that didn't happen, this couldn't happen, that. It's like experts, well, they could be lying too. You know,
Or
like
just
what
wrong.
experts? Or wrong.
They're
Yeah.
just a person.
Yeah.
I'd love to get people from the documentary or somebody
I know.
in. Because
Maybe we can after it airs.
Once it airs, yeah.
I thought it was very well done. It wasn't. I never felt like I was watching some kooky fucking internet conspiracy thing. And fucking Lee Harvey Oswald, you could see photoshopped in his foot. And then, okay, whatever.
Yeah, they're using some radar evidence, which they had. But that's another thing. Why did they have to fucking sue to get all the information?
Yeah.
They had to sue to get every piece of information on a domestic fucking freak
I
engine
know.
accident?
That's just it.
Why?
When you get fucking the CIA and FBI involved, you know, you get all the redacted paperwork, and if you do get it, and then you get the denials of getting anything. I think they do that on purpose, just so when they really do have something they don't want you to see, it's like, oh, they do that with everything.
But nobody was plugging Infowars.com throughout the documentary.
Obviously a conspiracy. You could tell it wasn't the main fuel tank. It's got to be a missile.
He would be interesting on this one, though, because
see the evidence.
See the evidence right there on Infowars.com. false flag operation to bring down the thing. It was in order to get us in a war with Mexico. What?
Huh?
We should tomorrow, probably, because I would love to talk to Alex.
Or maybe
how great would it
when
be?
more people have seen the
Oh yeah, why tomorrow?
How great would it be if we called him and he was like, no, the official story is the story on that one.
It was a Stinger missile.
Could you, if you say, no, it was fuel tank.
Yeah, fuel tank blew up.
That was short circuit, blew up the plane. No. It's not a missile.
The conspiracy there is the documentary being made.
Conspiracy's the conspiracy. Conspiracy.
And those fucking bodies, how some were intact and some were mangled, when they all should have been, if it was
That
the center
was
fuel
terrible.
tank, all the bodies should have been fucked up in that area, and they weren't.
They show some of those bodies on the documentary. Oh, my God. And then even the x-rays they were showing, like they have an x-ray and they showed some metal fragments inside the body, but also what you could see are like ribs that are just completely smashed and tangled up. And
I feel so bad for the people that had to fall. There's no way you think you're living through that.
You don't want to do that.
Imagine being in the because if you were like, say, in the last row of coach, where you were unaffected by those explosions.
Yeah.
You died when you hit the ground.
You're like,
That's always something that stuck out with 9/11 to me, was the people that were falling. The same thing.
Do you have a fraction of an element of like, I might make this. I might stick this landing.
Or like, you're falling and being like,
if I hit that tree,
I could have done something differently.
Look, there was a rope right
well,
there.
What's the thing? When we had the dude from the Bridge documentary on, who said he jumped off the bridge, and he said the first thing you think about as you're falling is, this was a horrible mistake. I shouldn't
this
have
probably
jumped.
wasn't good. Yeah, you don't want to think that.
Yeah, but they were driven out of the building like animals. Like it was an instinct thing to get away from 1,000-degree heat or whatever.
Yeah, that's not.
You got to make that.
It's not a conscious decision.
In that kind of heat, you just jump. It's
you just
too
have
much.
to move away from the heat, no matter what's.
I would just stick my head out the window.
What's there? Yeah, that's all that would be left.
But you know what I
Your
mean? It's
head.
like the agony of being on
when
fire
you're-
or being slowly baked. It's almost like as you're falling. I'm sure that, but I don't think they would. You seem like an animal at that point. Like it's instinct and primal fire.
Fire's horrible.
It
And you've had
stinks.
time to
it
think about
hurts.
it. You've had time to think about it. When like you're saying in this crash, you're sitting in your seat 1 minute, and then the next minute you're going to fall into the ocean.
But you're falling 13 times the distance that they
That's a
fell,
long fall.
and you can't. You have no reason to be like you're not in physical distress yet.
Boy.
You're just falling.
Do you
were
think-
just watching a movie.
You think some guy is just sitting there with his legs crossed, reading like Sky Mall, licking his finger, turning the pages?
I'll go down in
People
honor.
looking at him like, what the fuck is he doing? Yeah, like the fucking band on the Titanic.
Right. Can you imagine the fucking seeing the front of that plane gone? There's no convincing yourself you're going to live.
Still eating that tiny little salad with the greens and the one
Ooh.
tomato in it.
Maybe the pilot can bring this in. There's, you gotta always have this element of, I don't know, maybe it won't hit so hard.
Pushing the stewardess button. Excuse me.
You're just falling. To see the pilots falling off the front.
Oh,
you imagine seeing the because by numerically there had to be one row that was alive that
Right.
was closest to the opening.
Looking like, oh, that's interesting. The whole fucking flight deck just ripped away from this plane. Huh. I don't think that's supposed to happen.
Do you think they did get ripped open quickly? Because you don't think they just fucking fell like with the tube? You think that the wind ripped it apart?
I would assume if the front of a plane comes off at cruising speed.
But they were
like
just
that-
getting up to
Oh,
that.
they were just getting
They
up.
were
Well,
13,000
you know what?
climbing.
13,000 feet on that. They're doing a couple of hundred. They're going pretty fucking fast. You would think that open tube with air rushing in, the pressure would blow it apart. You would assume the pressure would blow it apart.
You hope that people died or passed out.
Yeah.
You hope so. I'm sure there were some heart attacks and some pass outs, but I'm sure some people were
Some
there.
real fucking hardcore people that are just like, oh fuck, I'm still.
Yeah,
this
Like
is
the
great.
only thing I have to compare to that is being in the front row of a roller coaster when you're about to go over the hump.
You think you go wee?
Yeah, no,
on
but I'm
that?
saying like
Wee!
like
someone threw their arms up in the air?
Hands up!
Hey, let me-
Where's the camera? I want to make a face.
Yeah. Let me rephrase your question. I have nothing to compare this to.
That's terrible. That's awful.
You're just holding a silly face the whole time. I don't know where the camera is.
Yeah, exactly.
Funny.
It's kind of like a log flume, except you're plunging to your death in a fiery plane.
Chick is showing her tits. No, you're not.
I didn't say it was the same feeling.
Oh.
I said it's just, like you said, there had to have been a front row when that plane,
Like there has to be a front row on a roller coaster.
Yeah.
So here's the comparison.
Right.
Like a roller coaster,
Turn the
there were
mic-
seats. There were human beings and seats involved.
Yeah.
Very much like a roller coaster or an office or a movie theater.
Do you think being impaled by 50 spears is the same as a merry-go-round? Because I would think it's just the same thing.
Right.
No?
I know.
Fast merry-go-round.
I once stood online for an iPhone. So it's like, I know what it's like to crash in an airplane.
Right, exactly.
It's like you see the front of the line and you go, they're getting their phones first.
Just
this
like
is going
it.
to take a while,
Right.
just like me falling.
Travis's explanations of everything.
Perfect.
It's good.
Yeah, that was really good. But I almost thought you were there for a second, especially when you heard the plane go.
Yeah.
The horror of that.
You don't even want to.
Of looking out that fucking
imagine.
gaping hole. Imagine seeing the fucking sky and feeling the outside air.
It's
Yeah, but you're strapped into the seat on it. You're just going to go down and up and down, and then you'll be back.
Yeah.
where you started.
Yeah, that's just
Not
it.
that scary.
The horror of being ripped out at 13,000 feet.
I'd want a parachute. Yeah, that would be great if you thought like beforehand and went like, I put a parachute on. Fuck is all.
Perfect.
I'm out, motherfuckers.
So I'm sure that being ripped out wouldn't happen violently, and you wouldn't rip your leg off on a fucking piece of metal.
Exactly.
Sir, you have to put your parachute under the seat? No, I'll be wearing it the whole
No,
flight.
I got
thank
it
you.
on. You fucking put it under your seat, dummy.
Yeah, you wonder if anybody was like getting ripped out. Like, how long do you live? Or the whole time, or do you pass out from the air? Is it hard to breathe?
Yeah,
you
because
can't?
when you're that high up, isn't the air quality?
Yeah, 13,000. You could breathe.
But I was going to say,
Thin,
once you're
but-
falling, well, the air rushing, but people parachute from 10,000 feet and they live.
Fine.
Yeah.
You just gotta hold on to the bottom of your seat and use it as a flotation device as soon as you hit.
As you go down.
Yeah,
Just get into cannonball position.
What do you think? A perfect dive would be better into the water, or a big belly flop from 13,000 feet?
What do you do in that time? Because yelling and screaming, like when they
Probably get
jump,
exhausted.
do you stop screaming?
Yeah.
Because
Like
9/11, it was
realizing this is
12
happening.
seconds. 12 seconds it took them to fall, about approximately. That's a long, maybe 10 seconds. I mean, no, that's a long time, but it's not that long. It's fucking, by the time you're done screaming, you hit the ground.
13,000 feet, you've got a lot of time to think.
You're just in a plane, you're listening to the music, you're watching a movie, and then the next thing you're just going whoosh, falling in the air. Just so like, what happened?
There are people.
What just happened?
They're listening to us this morning.
Yeah.
They're taking flights.
Sorry.
And we just spent a half hour talking about what it's like to be in a plane crash.
But if it took, say, 9
No,
seconds
we're
to fall 1,000 feet, what's 13 times 9? 130, 117 seconds.
Oh, boy.
Is almost 2 minutes.
Yeah.
They fell for almost 2 minutes.
Wow.
It's horrible.
That's a long 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I bet. Look at this parade of people.
Yeah.
What is this about?
This is
Movie
This
people?
is the big buzz that my acting is going to be showcased.
Oh, is that what it is? Ooh,
Yeah.
who's the blonde? Hi there, honey. How you doing? Hey, look at that. Hey.
So ready to go. Hey, how you doing, sweetie? Come on in. Be a part of the movie.
I'm giving the guy the double pistol
Hey,
finger thing.
double pistol.
Boom, boom, boom.
I got a pistol gun.
You could have said double guns on that one.
Double pistols.
guns.
You got to incorporate whatever's happening.
Double
Piece
pistols.
of fucking garbage.
Any timeline on when they're
Anytime now.
coming back?
What eds?
What
I'm
else?
ready for the fucking movie.
You can't be in it.
You ready
Chris
for-
Rock. Hey, how about you name this Chris Rock and roll? We'll play some fucking music.
That's probably a great fucking line.
E-Rock, are you going to be in the movie?
Oh, God.
No, Chip.
Oh.
Good.
Oh, he's not.
Wow. I don't want you in my fucking movie.
No. I'm trying to get some updates on the...
Although you would do Chip or Uncle Paul if Chris Rock were in here. So I feel like you should try to pull off a little Chip in the film. See if it makes it.
No,
to
because
Final
we're going to
Cut.
be part of a montage. So anytime I go, it's going to be, Chris is going to be like, what are you doing?
Yeah, but how great would it be if there was a what's that?
What's that?
Just do a quick what's that? See if
It would be great for us.
See if it makes it into the film.
How great would it be for my career? Not particularly. Because I don't like when you're shooting a feature film when you throw in private radio jokes that don't help the script at all.
Yeah, but what if this launches Chip?
Exactly. Stop being selfish.
Yeah.
Then I would.
This could be
Chip is going to be launched.
This is the next he stinks and I don't like him. Okay.
Yeah.
This is your big moment.
Yeah.
Take advantage of it, and stop being selfish.
What are you checking at?
I'm trying to see if in the Zimmerman case that they found those tapes relevant. I think they did. Are they allowing the tapes? State to introduce 911 calls from the night of the shooting. I know that one.
We could probably turn on a TV.
We could do that.
The defense was going to start with, please allow the fucking tape.
Is that around the yard?
I think he's going to... Another joke, maybe. Maybe another joke.
Maybe another joke?
Yeah.
I said.
Exactly.
2 Jews
Yeah.
walk into a bar.
$6 million in the ashtray. But seriously, folks.
Throw a penny in and...
Yeah.
Ba, 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 ba.
To hell with the expense. Get the parakeet another seed. I gotta take a leak.
Oh, you gotta go pee-pees?
Badly.
You want to take a break?
Yeah.
All right.
We may or may not be
We'll take a break and, yeah.
Oh, I've heard that before.
Yeah, we may or may
Sam.
not be back. All right, later. Yeah, I did. I was good at it. He came in my mouth.
The Opie and Anthony Show. The Opie and Anthony Show. Sirius XM.